Way done. All Philadelphia, all day. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, we're live on a Thursday. Middays with Mark, 97.5 The Fanatic. Good morning, everybody listening on 97.5 FM WPN, Burlington, Philadelphia, on the Fanatic app worldwide. And good morning to everybody watching on YouTube. You can watch live every morning, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Go back, and if you missed anything or you want to watch something later on tonight, do it. Just make sure you subscribe to 97.5 The Fanatic on YouTube. We say good morning in the studio today, producing Brendan Dutz. What's up, Dutsy?
Morning, Johnny. How are we today?
He is the Hair Jordan, is his nickname.
Fresh cut, too. Looking good, man. Spiked it up.
That's a fresh cut, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I obviously see the hair that they cut. Yeah.
Good
Man,
morning.
at least I don't get a lollipop with my haircut, right? There's a difference, okay?
All right, buddy. Once you can drink, you can talk to me like that.
I can.
He can drink. He's 21 now.
Yeah, look at him and tell me that you can drink.
But you have to see it on YouTube. He got a fresh cut, but you would think he hasn't gotten his hair cut forever.
Correct.
But he got it. Yeah, you got to get it's like, is it tapered in the back?
Yeah.
And it's just cleaned up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He makes the hair look like that.
Right. No, that's by design. That is what he wants. That's what he's going for.
And you got a butterscotch dum-dum after your haircut,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. God forbid a man looks young around here.
It's not the...
It's not that you
It's
look
all right,
young.
man.
You just you get the same haircut as a 12-year-old.
Correct.
No, I'd say a 3-year-old, not a 12-year-old. But no, it looks good. It's not. That's not a
No, it's
criticism.
fine, man. We got the Bird's Nest over here. We got Morgenstern over here. We got a lot of takes on hair from two guys that really shouldn't have any takes on hair.
What do you mean?
How about
My hair
that?
looks great. So what? I got a little bit of help from Morgenstern hair. All right. All right. Well, let's talk about By the way, 76ers with a win last night. But that's not what I'm talking about to start the show today, Raymond.
Oh, great night last night. Paul George is back.
Paul George looked great.
We got a gift from the Raptors. They lost to Sacramento. The Kings
At home.
accidentally won a game. Oh, my God. What a fantastic night for the 76ers. Right, Johnny?
Sixers start the day in a tie for the 6th seed. So actually in the playoffs, not playing. And they have the tiebreaker over the Raptors because they have, in the NFL, you have the different tiebreakers. Right. Well, they split the series 2-2, the season series 2-2. So it goes to the record in the Atlantic Division, which the 76ers have dominated the Raptors as far as the Atlantic Division record. So in other words, if they finish with the same record, the Sixers would have the tiebreaker over them. I don't know if I expect that based on the schedule the Sixers have here over the next 4 games. But anyway, Paul George did look great last night. 76ers scored 153 points against the Wizards. Oh, my God. Larry Brown somewhere, and who's another great defensive player that couldn't shoot a lick? Rolling, even though Larry Brown's still alive, rolling on his couch.
Tony Allen.
Yeah, Tony Allen. But this is all about Joel Embiid. And Ray, I'm still in. I'm still in.
Are you?
But I am just so exhausted with Joel Embiid. I really, really am. And if it's not him flopping all over the place or being injured or being erratic like we saw the other night in Miami, it's Joel Embiid with what happened yesterday. So it's April Fool's Day, and Joel Embiid comes out and he says, must be April Fool's joke. Played against Miami in the same conditions. I'm planning on playing tonight because he was ruled out. It came out. A 76ers reporter reported Joel Embiid out for tonight because that was the official designation by the Sixers. And right away, Joel Embiid retweets that and says, must be April Fool's Day. I'm playing tonight. And then shortly before 5 p.m., he puts out on Twitter, I guess they won't let me play basketball, and that's it. Now, Daryl Morey earlier in the day, and this is why we pretty much early when we were on the air, not that much after 12 o'clock, if even 12 o'clock, Daryl Morey tells the Inquirer that Embiid was ruled out, quote, when he was too ill to make this morning's film session, end quote. So, it's pretty clear that the Sixers were annoyed with Joel Embiid, and this was a form of discipline. It's like when you're a kid and you don't want to go to school, but you want to go to the baseball game at night.
Right.
You don't get to go to the baseball game at night if you're too ill to go to school. That's just the way it works. Now, a lot of times the kid plays in the baseball game anyway, even because they didn't go to school. But still, that's how the rule would be in my house is if you don't go to school, you don't go to the baseball game.
In my life, when I go out on a Thursday night and I'm like, I don't really want to go to work on Friday. Well, you can't really go out Friday night if you're not going to go to work on Friday. That's not how this works. I have at least that much discipline in my life.
That's your equivalent.
That is my equivalent. I show up here on Friday regardless.
Right. So, I thought it was a good night to rest him anyway. And by the way, he was sick. I'm not telling you that he didn't have a cold or something like that. which is fine. He was sick against Miami. There was cold medicine in his locker. I'm not telling you that he's not sick. But clearly the 76ers felt like that this is something where they were holding a film study before a game. This is really where the Sixers need to go on a run, and it's going to be difficult. But they're trying to make a run to get into the playoffs. They're trying to position themselves so they're a 6 seed, so they're playing the Knicks or whatever. They're in a stretch run. They're trying to make a run. Joel Embiid's their best player. He's the MVP. It's got to start with him. If the Sixers, if he was like stomach bug, fever, legitimately sick, they're not going to be mad that he didn't make film session. It's like, no, just rest up. You'll be good. But just the fact that Joel Embiid wasn't healthy enough to make it or didn't show up for the film session, but still was complaining on Twitter that he didn't play in the game tells you all you need to know. He didn't want to grind it out. He didn't want to get up. He didn't want to go to film. And he wanted to play in the game because they're playing a bad team, and he wants to put up 40 points with ease and get out of the game. And let me tell you something. When you're the best player on the team and you're the MVP, everybody's looking at you for how you behave. And you can have Tyrese Maxey, and you can have other veteran players, and you can have other leaders on the team. Joel Embiid doesn't need to be the best leader on the team, but he needs to lead by example. And when you're not making the effort to like, hey, I'm not feeling well, but I'm going to wake up, I'm going to take some Advil cold and sinus, I'm going to get in there with a cup of coffee, and I'm going to attend film session with the rest of my teammates, those guys resent that. And I know they do. Tyrese Maxey at the beginning of last year had to come out during a team meeting and call Joel Embiid out and say, you are late to everything, and it's not cool, and it's not okay. That got leaked to the media. Who leaked it to the media? Pretty obvious to me the 76ers did because they were so desperate to get Joel Embiid to buy in and to get it. Now, Embiid responds with being mad that it got leaked. He never denied it. No player ever came out and said, no, that's not true. Embiid said, well, I'm not late to everything, but, you know. So you already show the commitment of the player. He's got his own rules, and that's the way that he wants it. And the Sixers obviously were frustrated that he didn't make the attempt to go to film session yesterday. And then he's complaining on social media he wants to play. The Sixers don't want to let him play basketball. You are never, ever going to win in this league when your best player behaves the way that Joel Embiid behaves. And I'm tired of it. And it's one of the reasons, including injury, which is a huge reason, why the Sixers have never even made it to an Eastern Conference Finals with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have Joel guy in my bio, a la Sean Brace with Jalen Hurts, but I would be a Joel guy if I needed to put something in my bio to define the way I feel about the guy. But the whole thing yesterday was just embarrassing. I mean, it really was. Like, you look at the way it all went down with him being ruled out, him tweeting this must be an April Fool's joke, hashtag sweat it out. And for me, I was like, oh, you know, maybe a good troll. He's going to end up playing. Like, the Sixers will get fined, but who really cares? It's not my money. And then as the day continues to play out, they're like, no, he's out. And he tweets again, I guess they don't want me to play basketball. Like, then we get the inquiry. He was too sick to get to film session. And it all lines up pretty much the way you would expect it. It's the Wizards. He feels like he can just go out there on the floor and do what he wants. They're going to play him probably 3 quarters anyways because they're not going to need him in the fourth quarter if he drops 30 and they're up 30 and it's going to be like, all right, that's the night. And he gets to be the guy that drops 30, has himself an evening. He doesn't have to show up to film session. Like, I want to give you the, yeah, you know what? Joel doesn't even need to do that stuff. Superstars get treated different in this league. But ultimately, you got to take it seriously. Like, I get it. It's the Wizards. I get it. We're down the stretch here. And maybe you could argue, hey, it's the Wizards. He could take the night off. But the way in which this goes, where he wants to play, and they are saying, no, he was too sick to get to the film session. He's out, and he wants to play still, and they still keep him out. It's embarrassing to be going through the public, through social media, fighting with your organization about your playing status against the Wizards in a game that, I get it, they were never going to lose, but they absolutely need to win as many as they can the rest of the way to get themselves into that 6th seed. I know we opened with, like, how great is it? Right now they're tied for the 6th seed. They've got a tough schedule down the stretch. Like, if you're not going to start taking it seriously on the first day of April, when are you going to start taking it seriously?
Right.
That's the biggest thing for me. Like, I was just disappointed to watch it all play out that way.
Yeah. Like, how about this? You show up, and then the teammates are saying, how you feeling, Joel? I'm all right, man. Let's go. I'm all right. And then you hold him out of the game. I don't care that he played in the game or not. That's of no consequence to me. They scored 153 points without Joel last night. It's making the effort. It's making the attempt. If you're contagious and you're going to get other guys sick. The Sixers clearly weren't believing that, and they wanted him there.
He said it. I'm in the same state I was in against Miami. If it's the same thing just 2 days later, I'm no doctor, won't play one on TV, won't play one on radio. Like,
he's got a cold, man.
Yeah. 2 days later, you're less contagious, right? Again, that's kind of how that works.
He's got a cold, and this was is it a discipline thing? I'm just looking at some messages here. So he skipped the film session, and he's getting benched for it. He was genuinely sick, so he probably missed it because he's sick.
He could have missed it because he was sick. The fact that they played this out throughout social media is the issue here. Like, they could have ruled him out eventually and said, hey, man, you're sick. It's the Wizards. Take the night.
Which would have been fine.
But they played it out where the two sides are going back and forth about his status.
We're talking about a film session? A film session? If this is a discipline thing, this is so dumb. Is this some kind of weird April Fool's joke? This is not funny. I mean, like, bleep this clown show management. We're not good enough to have our best guy out for some Little League rule violation. And then this BS? Nonsense.
To those people, if they were going to send a message, you send it before the Wizards game, the game where he knows he could show up and drop 40.
I don't even know if it's a message more than just you're frustrated and you say, all right, if you can't make film session, you're not playing. And he's obviously mad about it because they're not letting me play basketball. He's never going to get it, Ray. 610-632-0975. So let's do this. I want a phone call or two for people that say I'm crazy for this because they're out there. These Joel Embiid people are out there.
I'd love to be one today.
610-632-0975. That's the phone line. That's the Davis Honda text line. And then the voice memos. Get in with the voice memos. Name, location, occupation. And we'll do them coming up next. It is Middays with Marks with Ray, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's check this out. How about this? Comer and Cross, C-O-M-E-R, cross.com, 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. If your garage floor looks like mine, stains, cracks, chips. I don't have a bad epoxy job, but I've been in plenty of garages that do. You need to make one call to Comer and Cross. Check it out. They can completely transform that garage floor in just one day in and out, and it looks incredible. What about a true showroom finish? Every time you pull that car into your garage, you think you're pulling into a showroom, right? And it's amazing. And right now, they're offering 50% off installation. Here's the best part. They make it so easy. They move all your stuff in the garage out for you, repair all the cracks and pits so it looks like new, and then you choose your custom Comer and Cross finish. And this isn't paint or epoxy. It's built to last. There's no chipping, no cracking, no tire lift ever. And again, 50% off installation right now. But don't wait. You want that showroom floor that you can come home to every night. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. ComerCross.com. C-O-M-E-R Cross.com. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR.
No hot takes.
Shake up the best. Jamaican still
All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks. John Marks, Ray Dunn, Brandon Dutz, Sean Rodman in the back, associate producing today. Who's doing YouTube today?
Austin Jones.
Austin's still here, so the
Yeah.
morning show just stuck around.
Yeah, our knockout champ, Austin Jones.
That's right. Yep. He should actually be Middays, considering we had the knockout champ.
Right.
We recruited the knockout champ on Middays.
I mean, he's Middays right now, so we could just claim victory. They're gone for the day.
Yep.
So,
All right, we got some voice memos. I got a couple DMs here with Embiid. He missed film session, and he's trying to avoid the consequences, the mentality of a teenager after 12 years in the league. Yep. Yeah. He didn't get it. He legitimately doesn't get it. I didn't need to play him he didn't need to play at all last night. At all. If he's sick, like, if he's got a cold, I don't know the severity of it. I'm assuming the Sixers didn't think it was all that severe based on them clearly being unhappy that he didn't show up for film.
they didn't list him Monday for it.
Right.
Like, we found out about it post-game.
Because he had a cold.
Right. And he said he was in the same state. He said he was joking that he was going to sweat it out. Like, there's a world, and I don't think this is the way it went, but, like, in my head as you're reading it, it's like, oh, did Joel just wake up from a nap and find out he was ruled out and hopped on Twitter and was like, haha, guys, I'll be there tonight. Sweat it out, boys. We're going to be fine.
Yeah, because what was it, like 10 o'clock maybe film? They didn't play the night before, right?
No.
When did they play Miami?
They played Monday night Miami, then
Monday
they got
night.
up to D.C.
So it's a game day. So they want the guys to get up a little bit early, go get breakfast or whatever, get your coffee, and then let's just say a 10 o'clock film study.
Go through the...
And guess what? He didn't want to go. He didn't want to go. So that maybe he woke up, wasn't feeling great or whatever. You know what you do? You get your ass up and you go. Forget about the fact that you're making as much money as you are. Ray, I'm not trying to compare it to us. I missed a couple days when I had a stomach bug. I missed 2 days. And I came in that third day, and everybody said, holy crap, you look like hell. You shouldn't be here. Ricky Bo came running in. He's like, you're going to get me sick.
Yeah, you looked bad.
I missed 2 days, and I felt terrible that I missed 2 days. I hated that I missed 2 days, right? If you're sick, you can miss work. You can miss time. You're down the stretch of a season. You miss time you're injured and sick all the time. How many stories do we have of Joel Embiid being sick? This guy needs some hand sanitizer or something. Vitamin C, drink some orange juice. But yet, coming down the stretch, you know what the team wants, you know what the head coach wants, you know what this team needs. Joel Embiid with a freaking cold, going to film session and being the leader. Being the leader, being the guy that it all starts with him and it all ends with him. And that means getting your ass up and getting down there. That's all you got to do. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's playing video games all night. I don't know why he can't make the effort to do it. You got to make the effort. That shows leadership. This guy shows no leadership at all. And I don't think they hate him. I don't think the players hate him. I think they like Joe. But I'll bet you this. They talk behind his back. This is a conversation. They're not stupid.
Oh, we had it publicly. Like, I know he was trying to figure out who said it, and maybe whoever said it's not here anymore. But someone went to the media and was like, "We needed this taken care of," and it's because inside that locker room they were ready to have that conversation about his habits. And I'm sure that conversation resurfaced when you're sitting there at film, and it's like, "Hey, all right, this is what we're doing." Well, you know what we're doing tonight? Not having Joel because he's not sitting here with us right now.
Just when fans are trying to be positive.
Yeah.
And getting on. Look at me.
It was a great night.
Yeah, it was.
They smoked the Wizards. They scored 150 for the second time in a week. Paul George looks like he's 5 years younger, and the Raptors found a way to lose to whatever's left of the Sacramento Kings. We should be thrilled about where they're sitting here today.
And you know what? If Joel Embiid doesn't go on social media and do that crap, we're not even talking about it. So not only can he not show up for film study and the Sixers were pissed, then he can't even control himself to stay off social media and say that. And then everybody's like, oh, it's an April Fool's joke. No, it's not an April Fool's joke. And he says, quote, I guess they won't let me play basketball on Twitter. That's close to 5 o'clock. It's like, okay, great. Great, Joel. Awesome. Great. Like, just what we're looking for. Just when you feel like the team's ready to go on a run. This is what it is with him. Injury, the erratic behavior, which is part of this, the illness. I mean, like, at what point do we stop this, man? I'm exhausted with the injury aspect of Joel Embiid and everything that comes with it, but he's injured, right? He can't help that he's got bad knees. He can help maybe how he prepares the knees and everything else, but I got nothing bad to say about Joel as far as the injuries. It's frustrating. for sure. But I mean, like, what point do you just say you're never going to win like this in any sport where there's division, and he's clearly divisive when it comes to stuff like this because he hasn't learned, he hasn't changed.
I don't know if I use the word divisive. I don't think he's breaking anything up in there. I think just inside, it's like, oh, here we go. We're dealing with this again. Because I don't think it's like we don't like Joel Embiid.
I don't think it's that either.
Right. So I don't know if it divides them.
Did they like him when Tyrese Maxey had to have a team meeting and call him out?
I think the biggest reason why like this whole thing has stayed together the way it has, like that we're talking about this organization where it's not just a public like disaster of them going after each other, is the fact that he respects Maxey, and Maxey and him have a relationship where they can actually talk through things. Like, I think the Maxey and Embiid relationship is probably the most important relationship we've got inside that organization right now. Because Maxey is the leader of that team, and Embiid likes him and respects him to the point where it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it actually does work that they like each other and respect each other.
Like, if it was another player that they just didn't get along, or someone that just rolled their eyes at Joel and didn't like Joel like the person, I don't know if we'd still be here talking about this.
All right, we got some voice memos we'll go to. Let's go to Amir in Germantown. Amir, what do you got? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I'm going to be honest. I think everybody's overreacting. I'll start by saying, I got a few points, but I'll start by saying it's the Washington Wizards. Like, if all three of us was on the Sixers right now, we wouldn't have to go to shoot around. They are terrible. Like, they lost, 20 out of the last 21 games. Like, come on now. That's overreaction. I understand that Embiid is the leader, but if they understand that he was sick, man, let him sleep. He'd be all right.
But the Sixers, but hang on, I'll let you talk again. The Sixers disagree, clearly.
But I don't think so. I think that I feel like that's a masking. Like, all right, well, we don't need you against the Wizards. It's fine. But then on the other side, it's like we complain when Embiid doesn't play. Well, I'll say y'all because it's not me. I understand it. But when he doesn't play, it's like it's the end of the world. Like, let's trade him. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. But when he wants to play, we don't make adjustments. I don't get that. I think we should appreciate that he actually wanted to play. And I'm gonna allude to what one of you guys said earlier. It was like he'll wake up and get an easy 40. No, we should want that because we should want him to be ramping up for the playoffs. Like, I don't think that it's fair. And I'm gonna veer off for a second, but it's like we treat our stars a little crazy, and that's why they never end up staying here. It's like,
Amir, appreciate it, buddy. This has nothing to do with the way we treat our stars, and I don't disagree with that conversation. That's not this conversation. This conversation is about Joel Embiid, and he didn't play last night, although he wanted to play last night because the 76ers ruled him out after he missed film session earlier in the day, and it's pretty clear by Daryl Morey saying that he was not playing because he wasn't healthy enough to make the film session. He's not playing in the game tonight. If the Sixers knew that he was sick and said, we're good, like, get your rest, we'll see you for the game, him not playing in the game last night, I don't care. The wise thing would have been if he even was a little bit sick, okay, don't play. That's fine. But make the effort to get to film study. That's being a part of a team. That's powering through and showing the rest of your team. If he was sick, Joel's here. He's fighting through it. Like, seriously? Like, the excuses for Joel Embiid, and I am not, I honestly, like, I think if you're talking to anybody that's been doing this for as long as I've been doing, I'm pretty in the middle of Joel Embiid. The talent's amazing. I would have never traded him just to trade him, but I'm at a point where you're going to have to start seriously thinking about moving on because it's just never going to work. The dude's injured. He's got bad knees. It's frustrating to deal with all that stuff, and if he's too sick, he's too sick. The 76ers didn't think he was too sick. The 76ers literally could have said nothing about it, and then it would have went away until he went on social media and said they won't let me play basketball. The Sixers were frustrated with him, and he was frustrated with not being able to play, right?
Well, I mean, if we're taking the Sixers just at their word, they were trying to protect him. That, like, if you're taking Morey at his word, he was too sick to get to film session. The one that goes against this here is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is the one that combats what the Sixers are saying. That actually, I wasn't too sick.
Quote, when he was too ill to make it this morning, he was ruled out, quote, when he was too ill to make this morning's film session. All Morey would have had to say was, he's sick.
Right. So, no, but I'm saying if Morey said that, and we didn't hear from Joel at all yesterday, we take them at their word. He missed the Wizards game. we're on here today. There are some people that are probably annoyed that he didn't play because he's missed so much time. We need him to get cohesive here with Maxey, with Paul George, and we need to get them rolling down the stretch here. They need to figure it out. That would be the people be annoyed. You and I would probably be sitting here like, well, they said he was too sick. It's the Wizards. Who cares? Let's move on. It's not a story. The fact that Morey says that and then Joel Embiid himself tries to counteract what the Sixers were doing tells you he wanted to play in the game last night and that him missing, he didn't fight that he missed the film session. He only fought that they were keeping him out of the game. So he missed film. He just wasn't there. They think he was too sick to play. Okay, that's fine. He doesn't think he's too sick to play. The thing we all agree on, he wasn't at film. The reason why he didn't play, I think, but from the two sides is different.
I think that they were annoyed he didn't even attempt to make the film session.
I think they're annoyed, too, about the film session. I would agree. I think the only thing they don't agree on is how sick he was.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because if Joe's sick, he's sick. If he says, you know what, I can't make it, all right, that's good.
That's fine. Don't play tonight. If you don't want to be here for film, because you're too sick, you're not playing tonight against the Wizards because it's the Wizards.
Here's what we don't know. Where was he the night before? I'm not telling you he was out of the club or anything like that.
I was going to say, that's not Joel Embiid.
I mean, where was he the night before? Was he resting in bed the whole night before? Or was he out, went to dinner or did whatever, right? Like if you're even out to dinner the night before, you're okay to go to film session. If you're in bed because you're sick, then I couldn't imagine the 76ers coming out and clearly being annoyed that he missed the film session.
Yeah, I'm not going to imagine that he's out just because that's not his personality.
I'm not talking about being out at the club or being out late. I'm talking about if he's not, more or less, he wasn't well enough to make it to work at whatever time it was. Let's say 10 a.m. yesterday. Well, then you shouldn't be out the night before unless you got sick overnight. This is the same illness that he just played through the other night.
Right, and I think from the Sixers' point of view, either it got worse and they're trying to sell you on the fact that it got worse, or hey, you're at the same state you were in Miami. This is the Washington Wizards. You're not going to play.
They're annoyed. They're not selling anything other than that. So we have a voice memo here. Let's go to one. Go ahead.
Johnny Marks Ray, what's up, guys? Dave calling from South Jersey. I'm in pharmaceutical sales, in the car all day. Love the show. Really appreciate you guys. You're the best show in radio in Philly. It's not even really close.
Oh,
but Joel Embiid, at what point do we just realize that you're never going to win with this guy, and you're never going to win with this guy for two reasons: the intangibles and the injuries? And both of them are always there. Joel Embiid is in the chore. Joel Embiid is not making the effort that others are making. He's the star player, and he wants to act like the star player. Some star players act like leaders. That's not Joel Embiid. Not making the effort to go to film study when you're trying to make it in the playoffs as a 6 seed, and everybody else is there and everybody else is making the effort. Trust me, the players will resent him and do resent him for this. And just remember, Tyrese Maxey, beginning of last season, he called him out in a team meeting because he was, quote, late to everything, and then that got leaked to the media. They were trying to send the message. The Sixers are desperate to get Joel Embiid to buy in. He's an amazing talent. When he plays, he usually plays well. But when it comes down to it, to win in the playoffs and to win championships, you can't win it all talent. You need to be a leader. And they're looking to Joel Embiid, and he's not showing up.
I find it hard to believe he's a pharmaceutical salesman.
Yeah.
I couldn't get over
the voice is... What in the?
We appreciate it. Yeah, Dave,
man,
shout out, man.
You, but whoa.
I agree with everything he said. 100%. I remember when he didn't win the MVP. It was before a playoff game, and he was just walking around the gym, kind of moping around. And is it Chris Haynes that was working for what's his name?
Chris Haynes, yeah.
He had said that like that he was not really talking to anybody and moping around. And I had somebody tell me that's kind of how he is when he's not in a great mood. But he was clearly affected, and he was mad that he didn't win the MVP. And then he came out that night, and he just wasn't kind of into it. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, like the erratic Joel is bad Joel. The Joel that's not singularly focused on going out there and playing basketball can get bad. They're gonna play who they got coming up.
They got Timberwolves tomorrow night, and they got the Pistons.
Rudy
on
Gobert.
Saturday.
He's going to play Rudy Gobert because he feels like Rudy Gobert sucks, I think. And he's going to go out there, and he's going to be totally into it. He may get a little bit carried away because he gets so worked up over it. He's so emotional, and he's so up and down. And, like, this is the perfect example. He can't make it to film study, but he's on Twitter saying they won't let me play basketball.
Well, from the other side of this, then, if he goes, bleep you, I'll show you this weekend. I'm good on that. If it takes the organization being like, hey, we're going to drag you through the mud for 24 hours to try and get this to work, hey, Let it go, because this feels like a calculated move on their part. Like, they knew what they were doing by telling him he's not playing against Washington. Like,
or is Morey just frustrated? And because if Morey just says he's sick, but you read between the lines when he was too ill to make this morning's film session.
Right? Is it Morey that's upset with him?
Because if somebody says I'm too sick to let's just say in general that one of the players like Maxey's like not feeling great. All right, like we'll see you cut. Like update me coming up. We'll see. Are they going to rule him out at 11 o'clock in the morning? No, they're not. They're going to see how it goes over the course of the day. When they're frustrated because they're trying to make a run here and they need him to be totally bought in, and he's not showing up. Unacceptable. It's really unacceptable. And this is what you get with the guy. And that's why you can't do this anymore. You can't.
Yeah, I'm not getting there.
I know how talented he is. You're never going to win when your best player behaves like this. This is not the first instance. This has been going on for years. Sean Bernard has a voice memo. I read something he wrote on Crossing Broad yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. Here it is.
What's going on, guys? Sean Bernard over in Manny Young checking in from Crossing Broad and DraftKings Network. And the Sixers have officially climbed to the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, which makes them eligible for a full-scale 7-game playoff series as long as they can hold their ground. That sounds a whole lot better to me than having to scrap out of the play-in and then face off with the Detroit Pistons or Boston Celtics. So sign me up for a matchup with these fraudulent New York Knicks, especially if this is the Paul George that is here to stay. The 25-game suspension may have really been a blessing in disguise for Paul George and the Sixers team. And if this is the Paul George that is here to stay, I would argue the Sixers have the top 2 players in a series against the Knicks.
Yeah, that's great, Sean, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. But he wrote that the Embiid missing the game in the tweets was a nothing burger. So imagine if Jalen Hurts didn't show up for a practice or a walkthrough or something. And they said, all right, he wasn't healthy enough for a walkthrough where he's not going to play on Sunday. And then he starts tweeting out that they don't want him to play football. All right, he says, must be April's Fool's joke. Played against Miami in the same conditions, and I'm planning on playing tonight. # sweat it out. Imagine.
Yeah, that may be nuts.
Imagine LeBron James was ruled out by the GM because he couldn't make film session, and then he starts tweeting out that, like they won't let me play basketball. Do you imagine?
I will say, I do think the LeBron comparison, LeBron operates on his own time, and he's more than deserved that. LeBron, it's like, I remember when Bronny was in high school, and it's like, yeah, he's flying to go to a Bronny game. He'll be back tomorrow for
sure.
like
I don't disagree.
And that's the thing. That's the one side for Embiid in this whole thing. Like, when you look at the way that this organization's kind of enabled this for a dozen years, when they decide to enforce it on a Wednesday against the Wizards, when it's like, clearly it's not a game they think they need him to win, it's like, all right, like, is it, oh, we really showed Joel, or Joel like, really? You're doing this to me? Really? You're putting me through this? Like, it's a very, very, I don't know where the fine line drop is because I'm on the wrong board right now, but it is a fine line between, like, all right, we're trying to show you, Joe, of what you need to be, or, oh,
I think they were frustrated.
Bleep off, dude. Like, leave me alone.
I think they were frustrated. I don't know if this was sending a message. I just think that they were like, man, he can't make it to film session, then he's not playing tonight.
Yeah, I just,
that's it.
When they decide to enforce it, when they decide to be, hey, we're annoyed, like, hey, we're bothered by this, is it something that's going to get the response they want?
I push back against the enabling crowd that always say, well, the Sixers have enabled. Guess what happens with star players that don't know how to act? They're enabled because the team's scared to do otherwise. You know why? Because the player with the talent of Joel Embiid can leave if they're not happy.
Right.
So it's a fine line. Fine line. In how you have to do it. Now, to your point, at this stage of his career, can you really try to change him? With Ben Simmons, you could have demanded that he played a different game earlier in his career, but they were afraid to do that because it was Ben Simmons. By the way, Ben Simmons was also an all-star player. It wasn't until he couldn't shoot foul shots because he had a mental block that his career was pretty much over. So I get it. They have enabled Joel Embiid. Guess what? Most star athletes are enabled if they want to be enabled. You going to tell Joel Embiid, screw you?
Well, I mean, you're not going to tell him screw you. You kind of did yesterday.
Well, you did last night.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that's where you draw when you draw the line at the Wizards game at a film session. That's what kind of gets me.
I think fair criticism is, what were you gaining by doing that last night and for Morey coming out and saying it? Now, what causes Embiid? What causes Embiid to send the tweets? He sees what Morey said, and he's mad about it, or he's mad that he's not playing.
Now, if I have this correct on in terms of the timing here, I believe the Inquirer had to go to Morey to clarify the injury report. So the injury report happens. He's ruled out. He then tweets, "This must be an April Fool's joke." And then I believe the Inquirer
That's when
then
contact
went to, because I believe Gina went, because I think Gina's the one that's on the trip right with them.
Yes.
So I think that was the
So
timing.
that came
of this.
after.
Yeah.
So Embiid's tweet actually, so it's on Embiid's tweet. So Morey says, all right, well, he's not playing tonight. And then Embiid tweets that out. He's mad. So now Morey is mad because Embiid tweeted that out. So Morey's reacting when he says that. He's reacting to what Embiid said. I have no problem with Daryl Morey saying that. I don't. Joel Embiid's going to tweet out it's an April Fool's joke, and he wants to play. Played like that the other night, and he's clearly mad, and now Daryl Morey's got to answer questions about it. I don't blame him at all. I'd be frustrated too. I would. Jack, Jack, hang on a second. 610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks, Ray Dunn, Brandon Dutz. Joel Embiid did not play. Sixers win will actually give you the remaining games that are left because they're tied for 6 and they have the tiebreaker over the Raptors. So if the playoffs started today, Dutz, which it doesn't, the Sixers would be in the playoffs. But their schedule coming down here, their next 4 games, are pretty brutal. We'll go over that for you. Coming up next, get more reaction as well. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Got something.
Okay. Okay.
All right, middays with Marks. 97.5 The Fanatic. John Marks, Ray Dunn, Brandon Dutz, Rodman. Austin's doing YouTube today. We got a full crew.
We do. We stole the morning crew.
He stole the morning crew, yes, because we're Negative Nate is he's getting checked out by the doctor from his he was doing a fun run or something.
Are we still
Marathon?
aware of
Negative Nate.
what exactly is? I mean, I guess that's what we're finding out today. That's why he's at the doctor. But I'm still confused. I mean, he's limping around here. There's something wrong.
He said he thinks it's a strain. That's what he said.
I think it's his calf, right? He strained his calf.
Oh, okay. Well, that
with his
which can
calf
hurt.
area.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, he was going at 6:55 pace for 7 miles. Some would argue that the human body probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean that's not something you would see me doing.
Yeah. Kevin from Delco's out there like, yeah, Ray, we know you didn't do that.
Kevin from
Thank
Delco Googled Ray's his track career, and it's you can find it.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
It's great. If you have nothing else to do with your time, go look it up.
I mean, there's times I don't have anything else to do but look at random stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, look it up.
What else can I look up from you, Ray? Any arrest history or anything like that?
No, that was a different name. That was a different time.
that?
All right, let's take. Do you have any texts on the Embiid stuff? I'm curious to hear how angry people are.
Yeah, we got a texter this is like 5 texts in a row. David from Maryland.
Hi, David.
We did not get your occupation. I'm glad they didn't have Joel play last night because when your body is sick, it's not properly functioning. And then, therefore, you're more likely to get injured. We don't need him injured in the playoffs. I'm kind of glad that Joel wasn't at film because I don't need my other players getting sick. How many times do you see that in the playoffs? Like, oh, there's a flu going around. And you're like, oh, come on. I kind of think that the Joel situation is kind of like the A.J. Brown situation, an altered version of it. As the players and the coaches love the dude, you know, he enjoys everything like the team and whatever, but then he just has actions that are like, come on, man, just relax. It's like you're getting paid to play a sport. You don't need to be on Twitter being a goofball. I'm glad that they ruled him out in the morning because I was thinking about taking my daughter to the game last night, and I was like, yeah, he's going to drop some points. Oh, he's out. Cool. I don't need to go to the game now. Also, they probably ruled him out just to not get the fine like they've gotten 2 or 3 times because of Joel.
Yeah, but they could have just done a game time decision.
Right.
I mean, there's no reason to rule him out. No, in my opinion, they were pissed, and they said, you know what, he's out. Otherwise, why would you wait? Unless he's so sick that you're like, well, we're just going to rule him out right now. What's the benefit of ruling him out? Even if you're using it for, like with football coaches, they never want to say who's hurt. They never want to say if they're really going to play or not. They literally said he's not playing tonight yesterday morning.
So let's take Morey at his word. He was too sick to go to film.
Right.
Monday he was sick. You saw him down the stretch against the Heat. All right. It got worse overnight Monday. It got worse into Tuesday. He does not show up at film on Wednesday. They are left with the decision of, all right, we list him as questionable, or he's so sick we didn't see him this morning, we're just going to assume he's not good enough to play Wednesday night. Right. If we get to that point where it's like, all right, he was sick, he missed film, he's too sick to play, he doesn't play Wednesday night, and he doesn't play again, we come in here today, and we're sitting here like, all right, Sixers the 6th seed. Paul George, 39 points. Embiid didn't play, and we'll get the people on the text line that are like, oh, you know, Embiid's soft, yada, yada, yada. We'll get those people chiming in.
Do you really have them, though?
Yes.
I'm okay on the
we got
text
him
line and
yesterday
on Twitter.
when I was reading the updates, he was out. I can't say some of the words that he was called.
Right.
So,
okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't like Tim. Would we have cared? Would I have said anything about it? About him missing because he was sick? Not a word. Playing against the Wizards, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Like, if he not playing last night, I don't care. Here's what I care about. That he's tweeting out that he's mad that he didn't get to play in the game.
And then that becomes a mixed message thing.
Yes.
That's where this became a story.
So he made it a story.
Right.
If he does nothing, it's not a story. He's out, but you know why? And you had said, we were talking about this during the break. Joel Embiid's very sensitive to the injuries and the illnesses and things like that. Joel Embiid is seeing what is being tweeted at him. As you saw yesterday, he was on Twitter and he was tweeting stuff out. You don't think he's looking what people tweeting at him? So him putting it out there is, hey, I wanted to play. I'm sick. I wanted to play. They won't let me play basketball. That's what he put. They won't let me play basketball.
Right.
Because he doesn't want people to think he's tapping out for the game. So he's making sure people know, I want to play. They won't let me play.
which I get from his perspective, I understand why he's doing it. It's just like that next level of thought here. And I realize who I sound like saying that, of like, okay, if I put this out on social media, what is this going to look like from a team perspective?
I've created something.
Right. Because he's looking to defend himself. He doesn't realize the Sixers are already like going to probably give him the out here of like, no, you don't understand. He got really sick after Miami. It's the Wizards game. You know, Nick Nurse could be, hey, we want him Friday night. We need him ready for the Timberwolves. We have a big weekend coming up. They were going to play it, and this was something that, you know, had we not gotten the Hurts information yesterday, I wanted to jump into of like they had 4 games in 6 days. How do you manage Joel Embiid through that? Because earlier this season, they were doing 1 game, 2 days off, 1 game. You don't get that stretch in a 4-game stretch with, you know, just 6 days. They're not going to get that over the weekend. If they choose that he plays against the Timberwolves on Friday, then they can have 2 days off before Monday's game. But if they play him against the Pistons, there's only 1 day between those games. I don't think he plays both games in the back-to-back.
Let's go to Jack in Lancaster. Jack, good morning. How are you, buddy? What's going
Pretty
on?
good. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, just on this Embiid thing, you know, I'm not really defending Embiid or the Sixers. It's just, to me, it's like going to film study isn't going to win us playoff games at this point. Like, this guy needs to play to build chemistry. And if he's saying he was able to play last night, like, I feel like he just needs to play at this point. You know, the playoffs are coming. I don't think film study before a Wizards game is what's going to determine if we make it past the second round. You know, like, I agree. It's probably frustrating to be this guy's teammate, but I mean, how many players in the NBA are like this? I mean,
You
it's
tell
just
me.
kind of how it is now.
You tell me.
I mean, Kevin Durant, you know, it's like if you got Kevin Durant on your team, it's like you wouldn't be complaining he's not a leader. You know, it's like at this point we know who this guy is. Going to film study. What's up?
No, but like you're making an assumption that because Kevin Durant's an idiot on Twitter and has burner accounts that he doesn't show. Like, it's pretty clear to me that the Sixers are frustrated that he didn't make the attempt and they felt like he was well enough to do what the rest of the team was doing. Ultimately, is that going to matter, Jack? I mean, whether or not he plays or not, they're not making it out of the second round anyway, right? So we're really like we're talking about this to where ultimately they're probably out of the playoffs after the first round anyway.
Yeah, you know, it's just so annoying to hear like the Sixers making this the excuse on why he's sitting out when we all know like he just needs to play at this point. You know, it's like, okay, he missed film study. Great. I'm sure everybody on the team's pissed about it, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, he needs to be out there to play with Paul George. You know, even if he scored 10, 15 points and got a few assists, few rebounds, he doesn't have to play the full game at this point. It's just he needs to be out there. And I know he's trying to preserve his body, yada, yada, yada. But at some point, it's time to play some ball. So that's why I'm getting a little frustrated with the Sixers.
But I mean,
and that's why it's like, why didn't the Sixers let him play?
Because he missed film.
You know, but that's where it's like that's AAU level stuff here. You know what I mean? Like how many players? I think so. Like this is the NBA. These guys are like Embiid can go out there and drop 20 any night. You know, even on a bum leg. We've seen that.
Jack,
so it's
Jack.
You know,
to that point, when you're saying that he could go out there and do that, absolutely against the Wizards on a Wednesday night, he could do that. Take this now to the postseason. Take this to what they're trying to get him to do, what they want him to do. They want him to be bought into the fact of, I have to show up, I have to do the right things. This is setting the standard for when we're in a 7-game series and every single day they are trying to adjust to what we did the night before. And Nick Nurse himself has talked about before when he was the Raptors coach about how he would coach against Embiid and how so much of what he was doing was trying to take Embiid out of a game mentally. Like, this is, again, I don't know if it's a challenge that they're going to look back on and say it was the right thing to do. But it's something that seems to me of like, hey, I get it. You look at this as the Wizards on a Wednesday night in April that we're going to smoke them because the Wizards want to lose basketball games. But the way we look at this is the way things have to be done for us to win a title, and we need you there, bought in and understanding what's happening.
I don't think his teammates were mad or hate him or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. But you know what? Probably some eye rolling. Everybody else got to show up for film study. Joel doesn't have to. Oh, he's sick. Eye roll. He's sick. He's too sick to come. Eye roll. Are they going to say anything to him about it? No. Are they mad at him about it? No. Do they realize that that's Embiid? Yeah. And that matters when you're trying to win a championship. It just does.
Well, yeah, it just matters to be there. And, like, I think that's the thing. It's not about missing a film session against the Wizards.
It's making an effort.
It's about, okay, what does it say about where we're going? And ultimately, Yes, the people who listen to this and say, a film session against the Wizards in April, does it really matter? Does it really matter? Is it? No, it's not winning them a championship. It's not losing them a championship. It's what happens in 2 weeks. But you would like to have him on the same page with everyone else.
All right, coming up, we'll have some voice memos, some phone calls, 610-632-0975, some text messages, and we'll segue into some Eagles conversation. And this isn't the Jalen Hurts conversation yesterday, right? But it is kind of, and this is now going to bring Joel Embiid into it. I mean, man, when you look at the last couple quarterbacks here in Philadelphia, the scrutiny that Carson Wentz and the reaction Carson Wentz had, and Jalen Hurts and Donovan McNabb, playing quarterback in Philadelphia is a really tough thing to do. And we'll discuss that coming up next. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies win their second straight. I'm Brandon Dust, and this update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. The Phillies got the comeback win and took the series yesterday against the Washington Nationals, with Justin Crawford hitting a walk-off single.
Hit sharply, base hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
The 76ers got back in the win column last night against the Wizards. Paul George led the way with 39 points. They return home tomorrow night against the Timberwolves as they look to keep the momentum going. The Flyers continue their playoff push tonight against the Detroit Red Wings, sitting just 2 points out of the last wildcard spot. Puck drop is set for 7 o'clock, and you can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic. This update is also brought to you by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals for a pretty biggie deal. Gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Middays with Marks. Got Marks Ray Dunn. The phone calls coming up, voice memos, text messages on the Davis Honda text line. I got a Seth Joiner tweet that I promise this segment I'll get into.
Yes.
Because Seth Joiner just more or less called Tim McManus a liar. And Seth Joiner's got a lot of balls doing that. So I promise this segment I'm doing.
He's not the only one.
Yeah, a lot of people are.
Right. There's been 2 words that continue to bother me with the story and the way it was described. Hit piece.
Yeah, hit piece.
They continue.
Yeah, no one read it. No one read it.
Right.
People that say that didn't read it. Wasn't the hit piece.
Did you see the Twitter poll that the Unfiltered had yesterday?
How many people read it?
How many people read it?
Honestly, and it was like, what,
10%? At one point, it was like 3/4 had not.
Yeah.
I will pull it up when I can.
Yeah, I read the whole thing. There was nothing breaking in that. I thought it was very well written.
73% saying they did not read the article.
So RG3 or Seth that called it a hit piece, and I'll read you what Seth's quote was. What they're doing is they're generalizing, and here's where I think it's fair. The criticism of Jalen Hurts is over the top. And I have no issue acknowledging that it probably is a bit too much. He's also the quarterback in Philadelphia, which is probably the toughest position to be in sports other than I don't even know.
Yeah, there's that in Philadelphia and for the Philadelphia Eagles, because I also have a viewpoint on this now where it's like, all right, we continue to see similar storylines emerge about quarterbacks, and we continue to have similar behind-the-scenes conversations and Walls talk about those quarterbacks.
A lot of loose lips down at Novacare, no?
Interesting, huh? Very interesting. Doesn't matter the quarterback. We continue to have a certain conversation.
Players change, but things don't, right?
No, not at all. We'll bank that show sheet.
All right, give me a voice memo, and then we'll take some phone calls. Go ahead, Dutsy.
I'm a pharmaceutical consumer, and I'd like to say that you guys are like the worst show ever on the entire radio universe. Whenever the radio was first created, I mean, you're so bad that you're like monolithical fart knockers, epic fart knockers. You don't know anything about NBA. You shouldn't be allowed to talk about NBA. I mean, Joel Embiid, I don't ever want to hear that name come out of your mouth. He's the greatest NBA player ever who could put up 70 points a night if he wanted to. Absolutely. Number 1, Joel Embiid, who should be in the Hall of Fame now while he's playing. Number 2, Wilt Chamberlain. Number 3, Michael Jordan. 4 is Charles Barkley. Thank you, and happy April Fool's Day.
Oh. So that makes us the greatest show ever put on radio?
Right.
We're going to win the Marconi?
We are.
All right.
We are not, probably.
No, probably not.
There you go. I would love to win a Marconi.
What segment of the last 6 months would you have submitted for a Marconi?
Right. If I want a Marconi as a station or as a show, I don't know what I would do with myself. It would be the greatest achievement of my life other than my family and my kids. Honestly, I would cry.
Yeah.
Very easily. The station was nominated. I was nominated. We were nominated a couple times, and we lost. But we were nominated a couple times. I was so friggin' pissed. I would love to. But yeah, I'm not expecting it.
I'd love for someone just to hand me macaroni for the work I do around
I wish we could be in TV because everybody gets local Emmys and TVs. I don't know if you noticed that.
I have. I would love to be in that space. I won a collegiate Emmy. That was like I figured that was going to be the peak.
You won an Emmy?
Yes, I can point to. It's actually very funny. I didn't RSVP to go to the Emmy ceremony. Ended up free that night because I just started working here. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. Ended up free that night. They're like, yeah, they're not checking tickets. Come on in. I got there. 10 minutes later, I was on stage giving a speech. They were like, why are you here? I was like, well, we're nominated. You know, like I was the anchor of the show.
Why not?
Like I'm gonna show up now that I could hear. So then 10 minutes, I got there 10, 15 minutes later, I was on stage giving a speech. It was awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I figured that was kind of the high point. I was like, yeah, 22, I probably peaked. That's it. That's the apex of the career. Local collegiate Emmy.
I can't even get it. Like Duts, if I could win an Emmy, it would make my life. But
who wouldn't?
There's no radio Emmys.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. Start making the regional Marconis.
Right. There used to be some kind of radio awards they gave away 15, 20 years ago. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we'll just try and get on the Barrett Media Top 20.
Yeah, I'm out on anything Barrett Media. I don't.
Oh, are you?
Well, not out on anything Barrett Media. I just don't. I don't want anything to do with the rankings.
Oh, okay. You're out on those rankings.
No, I am. Don't get me started on the rankings.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with this show or this time slot. Derek in North Philly joins us here. Middays with Marks 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Derek?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Yeah, see, this is my problem that I had with everybody talking about Embiid. Check his stats for playoffs. Does he show up when playoffs come? Everybody cry about all these players that's not playing or playing. When playoffs come, with one leg, he's dropped averaging 28. With a half an eyeball, he averaging 25. So stop with that nonsense he saw. When playoff time comes, like they all say, they feed off of him. He makes the game easier for them. So that makes him a great player. Now, I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time and all that, but y'all got to stop acting like this dude is not valuable to this team. What y'all need to check out, Maxey signed that deal. He better be averaging 25 and 20, 29 or 30 in the playoffs when it comes. I want clutch players on this squad.
So let me ask you this.
Embiid is clutch.
Let me ask you this, because it's you make very valid points with Joel Embiid, and when you look at what he's done in the playoffs, and like I'm not going to cherry pick one bad game, and I'm not going to cherry pick one great game, but for the most part, he's been a productive playoff player. Why can't they win more than one round in his entire career in any playoff?
And I'm gonna tell you, and this is the truth, it's consistency with other players. Everybody has to play consistent. You think these other teams like OKC, you think they're winning just because Shea is great? No, everybody on their team plays their role, and they're consistent with it. It's like James Harden, and I keep bringing that name up because he'll kill you all year. But playoff time come, Jimmy Butler, everybody loves that one of them here. When playoff time come, he ain't clutch. So I want clutch players. Embiid is clutch. And consistent is what I'm saying as far as sorry about that. Consistency. So that means Paul George got to average 18 consistently, not give me 10 or 5 and then 31 game. Maxey has to be consistent with what he does. Ubre got to be consistent with 15. They have to play consistent ball. Joel, you don't have to question that. Even on one leg, he's still averaging 20 and 10. So stop with all this nonsense, man. Everybody else better be consistent in the playoffs. I guarantee you, the team they have
you know what you're doing.
Win.
But you know what you're doing, Derek. You're not putting any of this on Joel Embiid.
No, listen, wait. This is the last thing, and I'm gonna let you go.
All right.
I get mad at him because he doesn't play more games. But if you can't say this year he hasn't been trying to keep himself in better shape than in the past. Was I mad at him that he didn't stay healthy? Yes. But now, the last few years, all the injuries wasn't his problem.
I got you. See, Derek, we differ. The injury stuff during the regular season, I don't care. You have to expect that with Embiid at this point. True? But there are reasons, Ray, that they haven't won 2 playoff series in the same year.
Yes.
There are reasons. Part of that is the players around Joel Embiid weren't good enough, and the teams weren't good enough. Part of that, like in the series against the Celtics where it's Game 7 and you were up 3-2, and you have a Game 7, he scores 15 points. James Harden did nothing in that game, by the way. Didn't even shoot.
Correct.
But you had 2 opportunities to close out that series.
Didn't get the ball in the last 4 minutes against them in Game 6. Yep. I remember. I did post-game for that Game 7 here with, I think it was Kevin, Tom, and I. And it was a heck of a
Holy
breakdown.
Cow,
yeah.
man. What a gut punch that was.
It was. But, and to what Derek's saying, okay, you need everyone around to be more consistent. You know which, and this is, again, why do you care about a film session in April against the Wizards? It's not so much about what they're going to break down about what the Wizards are doing. It's so much of, we're talking about how they need cohesiveness going the rest of the way. Embiid, if he is able to get to that film session, if he is healthy enough, if he believes he's healthy enough to play, he's healthy enough to get to that film session, what can you break down that we're starting to understand how Maxey, Embiid, and George are playing together? How he's going to play off of whoever they have with him down there in the front court. The Wizards, and I'll compare it, and this is a horrible comparison, but in working in collegiate sports, when they schedule their non-conference, some of those cupcake games, they schedule the non-conference because they run systems that mirror what they're going to see in conference play. So it's okay. The Wizards aren't going to have the superstars you're going to see in the postseason. But if they throw a zone at you, like what you got against Miami on Monday night, hey, this is what we need Embiid to do in the center of this zone, and this is what you should be looking for. This is the way that Miami was able to key in on what we were doing offensively and slow us down. This is what you can get out of a film session. This is what you're able to break down. I'm not telling you that the Wizards are throwing out the all-stars that are going to tell us whether or not they're going to win a title this year or win 2 playoff series. But what you can have is guys on the same page about what you're doing offensively. When we get this look, hey, this is the way we're going to go. Instead of what we all complain about at the end of a game, oh, that's so individualized. Oh, it's just ISO ball for Maxey. Oh, it's just Embiid holding the ball for 20 seconds, then taking a mid-range jumper. You know where you can start to understand what you do alongside your teammates? There, at the film session. That's the biggest thing for me. He is a superstar. He can show up and drop 40. But it's not so much about the game against the Wizards. It's not so much about that specific film session. It's just about getting everyone on the same page.
Uncle Jamie on the text line, the Davis Honda text line, they cannot defensive rebound. Look at their losses. That's the reason. And it's even worse this year. All good teams shred them on the boards.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yep.
And it's been a constant problem. It's been a constant problem throughout this entire era. It's been a constant problem. It's because who are you pairing? Like, how are you best
Yeah, what's your
surrounding
best five?
Embiid?
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, all right, well, if you're going to end up having a smaller forward, Embiid's not that big of a rebounder when it comes, and he can put up 10. People, showed me the numbers. I just mean in terms of, battling for one and diving across the floor. He'll fight for him late, but sometimes early in the game, you'll see, he's a step slow getting there, and someone else is out running.
Yeah, defensively, because of he looks a lot older, and he's not as that's against certain centers and guys that shoot the three. And
it's different.
It's different. Younger guys. Before he was ultimate rim protector. Now because of his age and the mobility that he has, he can be a liability out there.
That was the one thing that was exciting about seeing him healthy the last couple. He does look like he's got a little bit about that jump back.
And listen, he's played great even when he struggled against Miami. I see the will there. I do.
Yeah.
You see him running down and making blocks.
He wants to play. He made that very clear yesterday. It's just the way he went about telling you he wants to play. We're in counter to what they were trying to tell you about him playing.
I'm sure Mad Mike's going to agree. Mad Mike.
Oh yeah.
How are you? Good morning.
You know what? I am great, John Marks, because that fraud loser who pretends to be like the Michael Jordan of football is getting called out for being a fraud loser, coattail rider for his entire career so far.
No, he's not being called. See, you didn't read the article either.
Oh, no, I'm definitely one of those. I didn't read it, but I'm just glad there's controversy around this loser because he's a fraud, John. He's his entire career, he doesn't put up numbers with an elite offense around him. He stinks, and the whole offense stunk until there was a running back that they were just like, we're just going to run the ball with the running back. He stinks, and we praise him. Say Jalen, say Jalen. No, he stinks, and he's a fraud.
And he should be praised.
No, he shouldn't.
Yeah, he should.
What? For what? Have hand it off to the running back?
Nope.
He is not. Put him on any team without world-class talent all the time, and he's going to be middling.
Should I ask him the Twitter poll we had yesterday? Does Jalen win with the Eagles, or do the Eagles win because of Jalen?
He wins because of the Eagles, not because of him.
I'm surprised that you answered.
Yeah, that's a really shocking answer from you.
Yeah.
You know, Mad Mike, when I woke up this morning, I realized it was back to 50 degrees and raining outside. That's kind of exactly how it feels when you open up about anything about the Eagles.
I actually hung up yesterday because Jason's whole health thing. I was like, I can't just do this after Jason tells us about how he's getting better. I was just like, this is not a good call.
Yep. You know what? Good move.
So, yeah.
Well, you could have, but you could have. There could have been some levity after the heavy discussion with Jason's health.
I'll just say this: I'm happy to hear he seems to be on the mend, and I'm happy for him, and that makes me happy. Even though my phone calls make him sad. So, Jason, I wish you the best of luck, buddy.
Thanks, Mad Mike. I appreciate it.
It's weird to hear him be just genuine and use the word happy. That was crazy to hear from Mad Mike.
He's really not a bad guy.
No. From what you've told me, it doesn't seem like he's a bad guy.
He's not.
It just seems like every time he talks, I'm not going to fight him, but you almost want to fight him.
I didn't say he's a good guy, but he's not he's not necessarily a bad guy.
He's got layers to him. He's an onion.
He's a bad guy. Correct. All right. Seth Joiner on Twitter. Funny. Every media person across the nation has a source. Sources capitalizing in quotes. In the Eagles building. If it ain't the A.J. Brown trade talk, it's the Jalen Hurts is a problem. Everybody covering the NFL has some insider knowledge or opinions. No, you don't. You ain't got bleep, but clickbait. STF, shut up and let Lurie and Roseman make moves they deem necessary to better the team. Every day someone's throwing bleep against the wall, hoping something sticks. For what? So you can say, I told you so? Enough. Jeez. And that's the first one. And then the next tweet he puts out, and he says, throwing stuff against the wall and clickbait and blah, 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 blah. So here's what I'll say to Seth is that, and this is obviously directed at Tim McManus because I responded and said, are you calling Tim McManus a liar? Anybody that's going to say this is clickbait, are you calling Tim McManus? So just say Tim McManus is lying. Don't go on and generalize and say everybody's throwing stuff against the ball and clickbait or whatever. Either you're going to give Tim McManus the respect of covering the Eagles for ESPN and say, you know what, because as Les Bowen did yesterday, I trust him. That's what he put on social media. Longtime Eagles reporter Les, who doesn't cover him on a daily basis anymore, but he says, I trust Tim. I've known Tim 20 years. I know Tim is not the kind of guy, and if you actually read the story, which probably not a lot of people did, it was very balanced. It would have something saying, this. One source said this about Jalen, but another source said this. It didn't favor one side or the other, honestly. I didn't learn a whole lot new about it other than Jalen's hard-headed, and he can be difficult to coach, which, by the way, get a number for the line of quarterbacks that may be that way, Ray.
Right, and they go through in the story and mention, hey, he's won a Super Bowl. Hey, in the biggest moments, he's shown up.
Right.
Like, they continue. Every piece of criticism is met with this piece of criticism can be responded with by this. It wasn't, Hurts is the worst. They need to replace him. They need to move on from him. It was a disaster, and it's all Jalen Hurts' fault.
Right.
Like, and, they very easily could have went with that opening couple paragraphs. We're talking about the last play of the season. Could have went with just the source that said, hey, yeah, it was all on Hurts. No. Someone said it was Patullo. They gave you the nuanced look at the different perspectives of which that went wrong in that moment and then what went wrong with last season. And it drives me crazy because I get, like, people are like, why even do this story? Does anyone sit at home and just say, well, turn off the 49ers game and like, well, brutal season. That's it. It's all over. You don't wonder? You're not curious? You don't want to try and investigate what happened, why it went the way it went?
Here's why they do the story. Because his editor at ESPN.com says, wow, A.J. Brown was complaining all season long. There's clearly something going on inside the Eagles locker room. Jalen Hurts is the focus. When they started this, Jeremy Fowler said this yesterday, it was started like it wasn't just Jalen Hurts. It was also A.J. Brown, and it developed into this story. Tim is told by his editors, and Tim knows this. He's been doing this long enough. Like, when things fell apart in 2023, Tim's job as a reporter, Jeff McClain's job as a reporter, is to go in and find out. It's their job. Sometimes you find salacious details. Sometimes you don't. The story in 2023 was more salacious than this story. You're only going to report what the facts are. So Tim gets the information. He puts the story out. It wasn't salacious. It was well written. It gave maybe some people some information they didn't have before. But his job is to paint the picture of what happened with the Eagles in 2026. Right. That's his job, and that's the purpose of the story. That's what he did.
Exactly. That's
and it was not a hit piece. There's nobody that read that actually said it's a hit piece. RG3 and everybody else that said, oh, no, they're hit piece. You didn't read the article.
That, or they read it from an athlete's perspective where they put themselves in Jalen's shoes, and it's like, oh, I can't believe that someone would say that about me. Like, and this is why would someone say it anonymously? Well, do you think that someone that's going to walk into that locker room with him next year is going to sign on their name to it? You think someone in the organization wants to sign on their name to it?
The bigger issue is, why is there always somebody talking within the confines of NovaCare?
And about the quarterback, regardless of who the quarterback is.
Yep. Carson Wentz.
I've got an answer to that.
Okay. Save it.
Yeah. I've got an answer to that.
610-63. And I got something else on Seth Joiner. And by the way, I like Seth, and I like his analysis, and I loved him as a player.
I was gonna say, you were stumping for him to be back on TV like a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, I wish he would go back on doing the post game, because he gives you something that the others don't, where he criticizes where others don't, and he's one of the more underrated Eagles players ever. That's the defense. That's my defense. The Seth Joiner, Reggie White, Jerome Brown defense. That's my defense. And Seth was an unbelievable player. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. He really is. Seth's a great player. And listen, I'm a schmo that's talking about it. He's an expert. Yeah, he's as guilty as anybody else with doing this whole clickbait stuff and Twitter and social media and using it to his advantage. He just doesn't know it or want to admit it. And I'll talk about that coming up next as well. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5, The Fanatic Sports Update.
Huge road win. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the 76ers blew out the Wizards last night with Paul George scoring 39 points, which is the most he's had in a Sixers uniform.
Here's George into the lane, lays it up and in. Driving right at Bub Carrington, who cannot hold him off. Paul George, 39.
They are now tied for the 6th seed with the Raptors, and they have the tiebreaker. 76ers are back in action tomorrow night against the Timberwolves. You can listen to that one right here on The Fanatic. Phillies got the comeback win yesterday with Justin Crawford hitting a walk-off single. Phillies are off today as they head out west to start a 3-game set with the Colorado Rockies tomorrow night. The Flyers return home tonight against the Red Wings as they continue to make a push for the playoffs, sitting just 2 points out of a wild card spot. You can listen to the game right here on The Fanatic with puck drop set for 7 o'clock. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Middays with Marks. April Fool's jokes yesterday on Ricky Bo. Is Ricky here yet? I want to make sure we talk about when he's here. So maybe he'll come
Probably
down.
best he's driving in right now, listening to this.
Hey, Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
He's here right now?
Oh,
he
wow.
is. All right. Thank you, Austin. All right. Well, maybe he'll come in and join us because it was pretty funny if you missed it yesterday. I gotta go. Were you still here for it, Dutch, or were you short day yesterday?
I wasn't here, but Dylan had me read it before he gave it to Ricky, so I knew it was going to happen.
They gave Ricky a fake sponsorship. And he read it on the air.
3 o'clock hour.
It was awesome. Yeah, they sold the 3 o'clock hour, and Ricky's reading it. We'll play it for you coming up, so don't go anywhere.
Sorry, Ricky.
This is how I was laughing yesterday at Bill when he asked you where your butterscotch lollipop was with your haircut.
Yeah.
This is funnier, though, I think.
You think?
Oh, my God. Both were funny. Anyway, all right, so just one more thing on Seth, and then I'll move on. But it's amazing now Seth has become this conquering hero for Philadelphia Eagles fans. The voice of reason, some may say, for Philadelphia Eagles fans. He's very, he does not like the way that Jalen Hurts is being talked about and all these hit pieces and everything else. Well, gee, Seth, I can go back and just look at some of the things that you said in recent years. I remember, when you had said that I miss him on TV. What I didn't miss was after a win, we'd be 6 minutes into the postgame and you're still complaining they didn't run the ball enough. I'd be looking at my watch saying, dude, I get it. You want them to run the ball 75 times a game and you want them to blitz on every play, but they still won the game. Let's get to that at this point. But the year they went to the Super Bowl, Seth was very critical of the Eagles. In fact, he said, this is Seth. The way they just played football all season, the way they play football all season long, I just don't like it. And it's hard to say you don't like something about a team when they were 8-1. He was pissed, and they kept winning every game. Now, there were some fans like that, too, because they didn't like Jonathan Gannon. They didn't like the way they played defense. But Seth wasn't being the voice of reason then. Back in 2022, Seth, really, this was every week. Because once it was actually Kevin Kincade of Crossing Broad started bringing it up, why are you being so negative on the team? They went to the Super Bowl in 2023 or 2022 and almost won. But so he was this very vocal negative towards he doesn't like what they're doing. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. All of a sudden, he's like a professional wrestler. He went from being the biggest bad guy in wrestling to all of a sudden something clicked in his head and said, hey, why am I being negative on the Eagles? Everybody's tweeting. Everybody hates when I'm negative on the Eagles. Now I'm getting criticized for it in the media. Why don't I become the champion of the Eagles and support the Eagles and get behind the Eagles? And that's what he's done for the last 2 years. And all the so now when he puts stuff out there, people are like, yeah, Seth, tell him, Seth. Yeah, you played the game. Oh, please. You were as negative as anybody in this city just 2 years ago on the Eagles. Now everything's positive and you don't like these stories that are put out there. Please, Seth. Give me a break. Go back and look at anything that Seth said for years about this team. Years about the team. So, whatever.
Yeah, the hit piece thing is what keeps sticking out to me. Anyone that read that story and came away with a hit piece, you didn't acknowledge that they were fair and balanced in the fact of acknowledging what Hurts has done well.
I don't even know if enough people wrote it that we should even still be talking about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. We got the follow-up today, too.
Jeff McClain.
Yes. And it was another, Eagles source saying this about what's going on, and I think McClain was fair and balanced the way he handled it. The reality is, if you don't think there are people inside those walls talking, I think you're naive.
There's a lot of people inside those walls talking.
They're talking. Does it mean that Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback? No. Does it mean that Jalen Hurts isn't a Super Bowl MVP? No. Does it mean that they're going to draft a quarterback in the second round? No.
No.
But
they could.
They could. Well, they could.
Not likely.
I'm still not advising it. I'm still against it. I'll continue to hold my hand up on that one. I'm against it. No matter how much Orlovsky loves Ty Simpson, I'm not taking him in the second round, damn it. But I really, really think that you have to just accept the fact that there are people talking about it, and it doesn't mean that your opinion on Jalen Hurts being a good quarterback is wrong. It doesn't mean that Jalen Hurts has not done all these things that we've watched him do. It's just the acknowledgement that this organization right now is setting him up for a season where, hey, there is some doubt of what you could do in the future. And if you love the history of Jalen Hurts, when he's been doubted, it's worked.
Right.
But it's happening right now. And to this conversation, because we mentioned it, like guys criticized. And I'll speak more for Wentz and Hurts because I was young. McNabb was like, oh, my God, that's my quarterback. Like, I was Terrell Owens talking about Tony Romo. That's my quarterback. Like, I was young. So what do I know about that? But in terms of the coverage of Wentz and Hurts, it's very interesting. They get the big contract. And when you give a quarterback that much money in this league, it's not just an Eagles thing. It's across the NFL. You hand the keys to the organization. You hand a lot of the power of the organization to them.
Yep.
And every time that there's been choppy waters with these quarterbacks, the way in which you take that power back and you try to wrestle back of like, hey, remember, we gave you that money. You are our quarterback, and we are deciding what happens with this organization, and we need you to be better. We've heard about it. And I continue to see these. It's like, why do these pieces come out? These pieces come out because power's been handed to quarterbacks, and this organization, we've said it a couple times, could they win with a different coach? Could they win with a different quarterback? Do they have the structure in place to sustain winning beyond the people that they have here now? Yes, they've proven that. What they do in these situations, and I'm not saying it's Howie that's making the call, I'm not saying it's Laurie that's making the call, but it's within an organization, it's like, hey, we want to make sure you know where the power stands. And the power stands within what we've built as a sustainable organization, not the contract that we gave you. And I think that's a big reason why we keep getting these stories and why these things come out. We've got a media appetite for it, for sure, but we also have an organization that wants to make sure everybody knows where the power lays. The power lays at being in the Philadelphia Eagles organization, not with you.
Yep. And this is from McLean's piece. Some of the evaluations of Hurts last season were candid, a team source said. One coach said he gave the following assessment. Until something changes, we're going to play him the same pressure defense. 1 out of 10 games, he's going to play the way he did in the Super Bowl. The other 9, it's going to be a mixed bag in the occasional bad game. And he's talking about the Buccaneers game, which is, I think, fair to say. But he does have that Super Bowl game in him.
Right.
In the biggest games, he plays the best.
He's got that NFC Championship game in him.
He's got the first Super Bowl where they lost. He was excellent in that.
Yeah. Like, he has these games where he will go off, and he's found great times to do it. That Steelers, that's what y'all wanted to see game after the Panthers game. He's picked great times to kind of calm things and obviously win things for this team. But we've seen him. I mean, we've seen 3 playoff games where they've been one and done, and in all 3 of those games, you can't say he's looked particularly impressive.
Nope. And by the way, if you look at even the great quarterbacks, look at their playoff logs. Not every great quarterback's undefeated in the playoffs, right? But to your point with Carson Wentz, it was the same thing with Carson Wentz. That he got the money, he got the contract, he got the ego. Carson also couldn't play anymore.
Right.
He was totally cooked.
And we've seen that play out.
Yeah. Donovan it's almost like, man, he stopped playing here almost 20 years ago now, right? Or damn near it. And it was such a different time to be covered in the media, and social media really wasn't there like it is right now. Still, man, for a guy that won as much as he did come up small in big moments as far as NFC Championship games. But Donovan was something else. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun covering Donovan. It wasn't fun for me being a part of the media. And I got the tail end of Donovan because I really got into radio in mid-2000s. So it wasn't fun covering Donovan. But with Carson, because I had to almost be the negative Carson guy because Ike was the positive Carson guy. And it was just, God, it was so tiring because there were it was really no, he sucks. No, he's the best. Look at what he did in 2017. They don't win the Super Bowl without him, but he can't play anymore. His teammates don't like him. He causes division. It was everything. And until he was out of here, you had it all the time. Oh, my God. Exhausting. And Hurts has been more of the same. And except he's won Super Bowls.
He's won Super Bowls. He's been more than what's been promised on that. That's the crazy thing about this whole thing.
And that hasn't changed.
And right. And it's when you see this criticism, I find it fair to make the criticism of him, but it's the people that go over the top, and it's people that weaponize that story that didn't read that story are like, yeah, this is why he's not a good quarterback. It's no, now you've gone too far.
Does the media in other cities look for stories like this? In Kansas City, for the Kansas City Star-Ledger, is their beat writer getting sources inside the Chiefs? I mean, think about it. The success Mahomes has had. If Mahomes had the same success here, would there be reporters trying to get some dirt on Pat Mahomes?
They won 6 games, and the season was basically over by the time he got hurt, for sure.
1,000%.
one of my best friends from college covers the Ravens for the Baltimore Sun. At the bye week last year, he and that Sun entire staff did the deep dive on what was going on in the Ravens locker room. There's an appetite for it in the markets that care deeply.
Baltimore, big time.
Yeah. They don't just do it here in Philadelphia.
All right, coming up, text, voice memos we have, and also some phone calls, 610-632-0975. You want to leave a voice memo or a voice text or just a text message on the Davis Honda text line. Just leave your name, location, and occupation. We'll clear that coming up next. We'll take your phone calls as well. The news at noon coming up. Don't go anywhere. Middays with Marks. marks 1 o'clock. Joe Blanton joins the show.
That's right. 2008 World Series champion.
Remember, I said Aaron Nola is the Joe Blanton of this rotation, and people were very angry at me.
I want to ask him, when you get to that stage of your career, pitching at that age, what changes? What do you have to start being aware of? Because it was pointed out to me, I believe our buddy Kyle Fisher pointed out to me that after that age, Joe Blanton started like 8 games. Like he became a reliever at the age that Aaron Nola is. And I'm just curious what changes with the arm, what changes with the body. When the innings pile up, how does your workflow change as a pitcher?
Right.
Also want to ask him about playing baseball in Philly in March and April and the disaster that must be for you.
Yeah, Blanton was acquired. I don't know if it was at the trade deadline, but it was into the 2008 season. They gave up a couple of prospects for him, and he stabilized the rotation. He was a part of the World Series rotation. Had a pretty good year the following year, 2009. I remember Ruben gave him a 3-year, $24 million contract, and a lot of people were like, "What the hell? Like he's your 4th or 5th starter." That was before Halladay and
right.
all that stuff. But yeah, so Joe Blanton's joining us. He's now a wine guy. He owns a vineyard.
Yes,
in California. So Joe Blanton coming up at 1 o'clock. Let's get a voice memo. You can always text the Davis Honda text line, or you can leave us a voice memo. Just make sure you leave your name and your occupation and your location. Hit it.
What's up, Johnny Boy? What's going on, Ray Dunn? This is Anthony in Florida, retired commercial diver, now in the medical field. Just want to say, when it comes to Embiid, we know he misses too much time. No crapo. But when he plays, he's just trying to be dominant. Now, when it comes to the Hurts thing, hit piece or not, Tim McManus is doing his job. He's grabbed, he's got a report on things. But let's just say this. We could be so many other organizations out there signing people like Kirk Cousins, Kirko Chains. We could have been searching for the last 5-6 years for a QB, but we don't have to because Howie struck gold when he drafted Hurts when we still had the washed-up Carson Wentz. I mean, who do you want, Hurts, or do you want Justin Sherbert? Come on, guys.
Yeah, I agree with 100%.
Yeah, champagne problems at this point?
Yeah.
Like, that's also why this piece is not the one from 2023. This is the piece following the year that was disappointing after Super Bowl win.
Right.
We did get a parade out of the Jalen Hurts experience. Ultimately, if we've seen the best of Jalen Hurts, he gave us something that the Wentz-Foles quarterback combination is the only other one that gave you that in franchise history. Like, if we've seen the best, we've seen one of the best runs for the Eagles.
Well, in the city's history.
Yeah. Well, that too. Two championship game appearances.
Modern history. Go back to the Phillies World Series and then the following season losing in the World Series, and then year after year after year after. That was a great 5 years. Put the Eagles up there with that. Plus, they had the Super Bowl in 2017. So you have to include that. If you're talking about a 10-year run, I mean, post-1980, no one's come anywhere close to that.
Right.
And speaking of Kirk Cousins, the Raiders have signed Kirk Cousins. Now, you'll see it and see a 5-year, $172 million contract. The devil in the details is that it's guaranteed for $20 million, and there's 2 option years for $40 million a year following this year. So the Raiders get a quarterback, so Mendoza doesn't have to start, but if he's ready to play, he can certainly play. And Cousins, there's a certain professionalism with Cousins to where he can start, and he's not going to be totally terrible.
He got how much?
Okay, so the contract that Schefter will tell you is 5 for $172. The reality is that he's only guaranteed $20 million, and there's club options next year and the following year for $40 million a year. So let me explain where that comes from. If Cousins comes out next year and he plays well, now a team may say, hey, we can trade a 5th-round draft pick, and Kirk Cousins is a $40 million contract. And there's no guaranteed money past whatever he is. Yeah, like the odds are he's going to make whatever he makes next year, and that's it.
Man, there is nobody that's lived a more charmed NFL experience than Kirk Cousins.
Not kidding.
I mean, you just put up numbers in the regular season. Once the calendar flips to January, you're scheduling Cancun by the end of the month, and you're going to end up with just millions and millions of dollars.
You know who's had more of a charmed career? Sam Bradford.
That's fair. I was going to go Chase Daniel, but yeah, that Sam Bradford does.
Because Cousins is a better quarterback than Bradford?
Yeah.
All right, who do you think made more money in their career?
It's got to be Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins' career earnings, trying to Google it real fast. Career earnings, according to this, is $321 million.
Woo.
Bradford came along earlier, so he's not going to. No, didn't we look up Bradford? He didn't make as much money as we thought. He had that first contract. It was before they had the rookie.
Yeah, because they had to redo it because of him.
Yeah, they had to redo it because they had to pay Sam Bradford so much money. Yeah, I don't think he's not going to make as much money because he played an era later. But let's see, career
130. Is that what you're getting? That's what I'm getting. 130 million.
Yeah, it's a lot less than you think.
But it's still, I mean, for how many touchdown passes? That's how I love comparing it. How many touchdown passes per million you got?
How many playoff wins does Kirk Cousins have?
One? He says very confidently.
What's your guess, Dutz?
I'm going to go with 1.
I don't remember when that would have been.
Right. I'm just assuming that there was one in there. That there was
me too.
a wild card run that maybe he ended up having.
I don't think he won any in Minnesota. I don't remember
1
anything
in
about
3.
Washington.
He beat you know what game? No. He didn't play in that game.
He won in 2020 against the Saints.
No, I was thinking that was the miracle game, but that was not. That was the Eagles' year.
No, he won in overtime. Wow, what a clutch guy. We don't talk enough about how clutch Kirk Cousins is.
He's played in 4 playoff games. He's made $320 million.
Man.
Not a bad life, man.
No, that's certainly not a bad life for you. And the millions for Bradford, 130 million, 103 touchdown passes. So It's more than $1 million per touchdown pass. That's the way I would want it to go. If I could make more millions in touchdown passes, that would be a charm.
Cousins has done that.
He's got 298.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Kirk Cousins, no, he's figured out how to put up numbers. I mean, that stretch, he goes almost 30 touchdown passes a year for almost a decade.
Yeah, he threw for almost 5,000 yards in 2016.
Yeah, when in the calendars, September, October, November,
he's good, man.
December, yeah, he's fine. He's serviceable. He'll get you to 10 wins. He'll get you maybe to 9. Maybe have 10.
He can get you 9. No, listen, he's been 10-5. 8-7-1, 13-4. That 2022 team.
Let me correct it. He'll get you about 8. The rest of the roster will dictate whether you get to 10.
Yeah. All right, coming up, the news at noon with Dutz. Oh boy, what has he got today, Ray? What do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know what's on Dutzy's mind nowadays. I know what's on his head. That big freaking.
Yeah. Hair. What do we got, Hair Jordan?
Some Stephen A. Smith stuff. Frank the Tank, because Ray knows I love some Frank the Tank rants. Mets dropped a tough one yesterday. And the third one is C.B. Buckner, umpire.
I actually feel bad for C.B. Buckner.
You're gonna know when I play it what it's gonna be about. But man, tough week.
Tough week for C.B. Buckner. Yeah, he's making a lot of money.
I feel so bad.
That's next. Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies get the series win. I'm Brandon Dutz, and after dropping the first game, the Phillies stormed back and took the final 2 games to win the series against the Nationals. They came back from a 5-1 deficit with Justin Crawford hitting a walk-off single.
It's sharply base hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
That call courtesy of NBC Sports Philadelphia. Phillies are off today as they head out west to start a 3-game set with the Colorado Rockies tomorrow night. Aaron Nola taking the mound. The 76ers took down the Wizards 153-131 behind 39 points of Paul George. They now sit in the 6th seed tied with the Toronto Raptors. They're back in action tomorrow night against the Timberwolves. You can catch that one right here on the Fanatic. Flyers return home tonight against the Red Wings as they continue to make a push for the playoffs, sitting just 2 points out of a wild card spot. You can listen to the game right here on the Fanatic with puck drop set for 7 o'clock. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks. We're starting our 12 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months, rebates and tax credits. $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more, servicefirsthvac.com. Our Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington. Just text our number, which is 610-632-0975. You can do the voice text or the voice memo. Very easy, just like you're sending a text message. But then you hit that little, if you're on an iPhone, hit that little plus button next to where you put the text, and it'll pop up a bunch of different choices. Hit the audio, and then it starts recording right away.
Very easy. You can start utilizing it in your personal life, too.
I mean, yeah, I use it sometimes. Dutz doesn't use it.
When you first started here, I always thought you were talking to me when you were walking around texting because I didn't know you were talking into your phone. So I'd be like, "Did you say something to me, Johnny?"
Well,
I didn't know.
So I do voice to text, but yes, you can also send the voice memo. But yes, I still do. I do a lot of voice texting, especially in the car. So anybody that knows me knows that he's voice texting, and that's why it doesn't make 100% complete sense.
Why the spelling's off, and maybe the sentence doesn't exactly complete.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's how it goes with me. All right, before we get to the news at noon, you were telling me this morning, Dutsy, we have a viewer, a listener out there.
Yeah, so my mom and dad worked at AT&T a long time ago, and they work with a guy named Frank Pascali. He texted my dad a couple days ago, and he said, "How old are your kids?" My dad said 21 and 19. He goes, "Why?" He goes, "I just heard your son on the radio." He goes, "I listen to Middays with Marks every day. I'm here in Brandon right now doing a Corona read." He goes, "He sounds fantastic, and I'm a big fan of the show." So I wanted to shout out Frank Pascali, awesome dude. My dad told me I had to give him a shout out today. He loves both of you guys, loves the show.
And he's not Frank the Tank, who you're going to play in the news at noon, right?
You know what? Before I start the news, I have to say I'm thankful for Robin because the amount of bleeps he had to put in that cut that's 40 seconds long is unbelievable.
All right. Let's get to the news at noon. It doesn't matter what comes in the world of sports. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. Bad Athlete Podcast, angry college coaches, innocuous and random topics. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. The news at noon with Ray Dunn.
I gotta say, John, it sounds fantastic. I'm a big fan. The other one wasn't great, but this one,
Which one wasn't great?
The first one that you did with Ray.
That's a guy that doesn't appreciate the thong song.
What was not good about it? You just weren't a fan in general?
No, this one's like more on tempo and on beat. It's not perfect, but it's better. I thought it was better than the other.
Well, the other one wasn't on beat because I didn't produce it, and I need to redo it. I said it every time I heard it. Need to redo it.
I loved watching John's face every time it played, too.
That's true. All right, what do you got?
All right, so we're going to start things off with Stephen A. Smith. So, before we get into this, before I play it, between him and Josh Hart. He calls out Josh Hart in this clip. It was after the Knicks lost against the Rockets on Tuesday. But Josh Hart had to say to Stephen A. Smith, he said, "For me, I think Stephen A. Smith is a part-time Knicks fan. He needs to shut up because he barely knows any guys on the team." Stephen A. Smith had a response, and he clearly clapped back at Josh Hart.
Message to Josh Hart. Do I need to shut the hell up now? Does it make sense what I was saying now? I mean, are you getting it now? You haven't won a game since you clapped back at me. You're on the losing streak since he talks back about me. Maybe if y'all prioritize what the hell I was saying and pay attention to the substance and the veracity of my comments instead of protecting your boys, you'd be winning games when it go up against teams that's better than 500 with their record. Do I make sense now? Because I ain't getting personal. I'm talking basketball. And every time you go up against somebody that's relatively respectable, you're wetting the bed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's not going to be an outright ban but I can't handle him anymore. I have such fatigue with Stephen A. Smith, and it's just because it's always about him. It's always he's fighting with athletes, or he's doing this and he's doing that. Because he can be very entertaining. He's very bright. The delivery's great. It's supposed to be an entertainment product. It is. But, God, he's just so full of himself, man. I can't take it.
So my issue here is actually going to go with Josh Hart. If you're going to go after Stephen A., as they say, if you're going to go after the king, you best not miss. If you're going after Stephen A., don't call him a part-time Knicks fan. You gotta hit stronger than that. That's not a good attack.
But he's made so many mistakes about the Knicks where it doesn't sound like he actually watches them play.
Well,
I think that's why he says it.
Then go stronger than that. Like, give me the, Stephen A., you're busy from 10A to 10P now on the air every day. We know you're not watching us. Relax. Like, The part-time Knicks fan, you're not giving me enough. There's not enough substance to that.
But what I would say is just don't say anything because
well, yeah, that too.
Now you give him content over and over, and now he waits for you to fail, and then he says something again, and he says something again.
This is what he needs. This feeds the beast.
Right.
Like, we could just sit out here and call out people until they respond to us, and then when they respond to us, we could use it as content.
Yeah, listen, he's got it figured out.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
It's just like, Josh Hart, I need you to be a little bit stronger in your clapback here. Like, you went to Nova, man. You're an educated man. Swing a little here. Give me a little bit more.
Yeah, what would Jay Wright do?
Nothing.
Correct.
Jay Wright would say, great respect for Stephen A's and opinions. We won another game.
Correct. All right, what do we got?
All right, we're going to go to Frank the Tank here. So yesterday, the Mets fell 2-1 to the Cardinals in the final 11 innings. Mason Wynn hit a pop-up to right field that Semien, Polanco, and the Carson bench all missed, and they couldn't get to it. John, as you obviously know, I'm sure this warranted a nice, calm reaction from Frank. Take a listen.
This is no hunt! No hunt! None! This is worse than last year! Worse than last year! Worse than last year! Look at the joy! Look at the joy on this team! They're not gonna even win they're going to 100 games! They're going to 100 games! Not one player gets a mother Not one player gets a mother Look at the joy! Look at the joy of the Cardinals! And Lindor is smiling and laughing. They're gonna get swept in San Francisco. They're gonna lose 100 games. 100 games. Bobichet sucks. Marcus Semien sucks. They all suck.
We've gotten about 15 tweets from Frank saying that Bo Bichette is the worst signing in Mets franchise history and that he's awful. So maybe the Phillies lucked out there.
I don't disagree with the Bo Bichette. At what point do people realize this is an act and now he's playing it up because anytime that happens to the Mets, if he doesn't do that, it's not on brand?
You're telling me that he doesn't actually believe that after the lockout season they're going to go 0-162 with 162 perfect games against them?
Agreed. Although yesterday, did you see? So Lindor, he thought there was 2 outs in the inning, so it's a tailor-made double play. Couldn't have been easier. And he just steps on second base and he's walking off. He flips to the pitcher. Oh, there's only 1 out.
Yeah.
And then somebody got picked off of first base too, and it wasn't even
I know
close.
you're talking about. I forget who it was, but I saw the same thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, they're really brain dead. They've been losing bad.
Well, what do you think their record is after listening to him talk?
You would think they're 0-6, but I know they have the same record as the Phillies.
Right, they're 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah. They're the worst team that's ever existed. 3-3.
Yeah.
I kind of could feel that way.
Yeah.
Some dumb mistakes that your team has made and you're sitting at 500 and you're annoyed. Now, I'm not going to say they're the worst team ever. They're going to lose 100 games. I'm not Frank the Tank, but I can relate.
Yeah. We had some Phillies fans that were upset. All right, what do we have?
All right, John. So when Angel Hernandez retired, there was a position open to take the cake on who's the worst umpire in all of sports, and so far, CB Buckner's taken that case, okay? So, John, I don't know if you saw the clip, but on Saturday in Cincinnati, Eugenio Suarez overturned 2 pitches that were called strike 3 on him. That was CB Buckner behind the plate. And earlier this week, it was the White Sox and the Rays playing. So for those who are just listening and didn't see the clip, if you didn't see it already, Jake Bauers of the Brewers hit a ground ball to second base. Second baseman overthrows to first baseman. Bauers clearly steps on the middle of the bag and is safe at first. Ball goes to the backstop. But then they challenged. CB Buckner said that Bauers never touched the bag, even though he touches it right in the middle, and there's a call. So here's the broadcast talking about it.
Bauers, in and out of the glove of Williamson. Throws to first, it's wide. It's backed up by Fortes. That should be a base hit for Bauers.
Runner did not touch first base and then was put out.
So the call from CB Buckner is that Jake Bauers missed first base and then was tagged out. Not that he made a move to second base and was tagged out, that he flat out missed the bag. And I think that is a horrendous call. Where is CB Buckner looking?
He's not even looking at it. Why would he even say that?
CB Buckner was not even looking at the play.
He stepped right on top of first base. I'm not sure what CB Buckner's looking at there. That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm really excited for him to have the plate tomorrow.
Call's overturned. Milwaukee retains their challenge.
That's just a waste of time reviewing that. Everybody laughing at that call.
Kevin Cash is laughing. Look at Murph. Those two guys are laughing.
Now, Ray laughed when he said behind the plate. If you don't know, CB Buckner took a nice 100-mile-an-hour fastball right to the mask yesterday and had to exit the game. So a little irony there in that clip.
Yep.
I hope he's okay.
And the two managers from the clip were laughing. They were laughing at CB Buckner.
He touched the middle of like you could hear it didn't play in the clip, but if you watch it, you can hear his foot hit the base. That's how bad it was.
That's the news at noon. He is so bad, and he has missed like that. The problem, umpires started really running into problems when the TV broadcast started putting the strike zone.
Yep.
Because now everybody can see these guys are missing calls all the time.
My question to you is, with the ABS challenge, don't you get worried that if you lose 2 by like the 7th or 8th inning, the umpire is going to be so mad at you because you challenged them already that he's going to screw you over with calls? I don't know. Buckner strikes me as a guy who would do that because he just takes it out on people because he knows he's wrong.
I don't know. I know some of the old school umpires used to be like that. I don't know if CB Buckner's like that or whatever. I know this. He probably shouldn't be umpiring anymore based on how many calls he misses. And, I mean, he's been one of, like he had mentioned, once Angel Hernandez retired, he was the worst. This guy's the worst.
Yep.
I honestly feel bad for him. He's so bad. I don't. Well, he's making a lot of money and everything else, but, I mean, it's been a really rough start to the season.
Right.
For him.
I just want to say that if I was as bad at my job for as long as he's been as bad at his job as he is, I would be out of a job. He's protected.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest unions.
Yeah, the umpires have protected themselves. So, all right, congrats, man. You still have a job. You still get to show up, get to go to the ballpark. Yeah, there's some days where you get with a 100-mile-per-hour foul tip right to the mask. That stinks. But for the most part, you got a front row seat to baseball. You got to get the call right, 70% of the time? Like that's
more than that.
All right, 85. I'll give him credit. You got to get the call right, a certain percentage of the time. You're fine. Like, I don't feel bad for him.
But this is going to make him retire because he looks like a fool.
Right. And if it makes him retire, then maybe we get a better umpire. If we don't, then we'll make fun of that umpire until we get a good one.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't feel
fun. All right. Well, I saw I was watching him walk off the field after taking the ball, and I'm just like, because he's old, too, now. He's old. He's in his 60s.
63.
So it looks like that. He just looks pathetic leaving the field. But anyway, there you go. The news at noon with Ray Dunn. I don't know if you saw this. A couple stories here. Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
Is in rehab to improve every aspect of his life. He's not. This isn't like a drug rehab or an alcohol rehab. I don't know what exactly the rehab is. I think it's a crazy rehab that he needs to go in the rehab because he has been a menace since the season ended. It seems like he's been involved in every anything that he possibly could be involved in. The last thing being he had bit some woman and was saying anti-Semitic things again.
Yep. On New Year's Eve out in L.A. because I believe there's a video of him stumbling through the streets.
He was drunk.
Yeah. Hammered.
Yeah.
Like
there's a reason why he's biting people.
Right.
He was that drunk.
There's drunk and there's stumbling where it looks like you don't have an idea where you're walking forward. Like, that was concerning. So, yeah, good on trying to better his life and all aspects of it. I mean, if you're the Rams right now, where are you sitting there like nervous? Anxious about the way this is going?
Yeah, for sure. But you got to make a decision to pay him. Because if you don't, guess who's going to?
Someone else.
Yes, somebody, including, like, hey, Eagles.
Oh, man.
Maybe it is just the alcoholism. It seems like he's just, like, I always say this. He's one of my favorite players in football because he'll fight everybody. He'll fight everybody. So it's not like the alcohol makes him crazy. On the field, he's crazy.
Right.
Man, what a player he is.
What a player he is. But
anti-Semitic stuff and everything else, like he's got to get his life together.
He's got to figure it out.
Jesus.
And if you're structurally, we talk about good organization-wise for the Rams. Like, where is I don't want to use where's your big Dom, but kind of, where is that person for Puka? Like, where is organizationally, this is not like a one-off experience.
No.
He was the one that invited the streamer into the facility, right? The day of the week ahead of the game. Like, this is not a one-off. Like, you've known about this behavior. It's good that he's now getting this taken care of. Maybe this is a step that they're taking or he has taken, whoever has decided to take this step for him. I'm hoping it's him taking the step and it's not someone telling him to go because, when you tell someone that they have to do it, you always want them to be more the one that's open to do it.
It might have been the agent and the family like, hey, you're going to cost yourself
a
lot of money.
And hopefully he realizes.
You got to get this taken care of now.
Yeah.
Forget about the personal stuff aside. If you're the agent, of course you want him to be fine, but you also realize that you're tied to millions of dollars that he's going to make that you're going to lose out on if you don't get this guy right.
Right, which, again, if you're telling him to do it and he's going and he's going to be like, oh, they just want me to do this because everybody knows that paycheck's coming, all that stuff. Like, I hope that he is genuinely interested in doing it himself. and bettering himself because it's been. I feel like we haven't gone a few weeks without getting a Puka Nacua story.
Nope. Also, I don't know if you saw this. So the 76ers or Josh Harris, his conglomerate of teams, hired Bob Myers to run the sports division of Harris Blitzer Entertainment, whatever it is. So, yeah. So he had come in. He essentially is overseeing all of their sports properties. Bob Myers is the architect and was the GM of all the championship teams in Golden State with the Warriors. So he stepped aside, probably at the right time considering where they are now as a franchise. All their guys have gotten old, and the younger players they brought in hasn't worked out. So Myers has been seen in a lot of 76ers games. According to Mark Stein of the Stein Line, longtime NBA reporter, Bob Myers being linked to the Mavs general manager job. So that's being put out there for a reason? To let the 76ers know maybe, like, hey, because right now, I don't know, like, is his job right now, is now the Sixers running the Sixers, is that beneath him? Or is he such an executive where he ain't just running the 76ers, he needs to be running everything? Or does he want to really run the 76ers? Because you can be an overseer of all the franchises, unless you're making direct decisions. He's not going to make football decisions. He's not a football guy. You can be a businessman and you can just be smart and run organizations. But there's something about, hey, I'm in charge of the 76ers. These are my players that I'm signing. These are my players that I'm drafting. I wonder if this put out there by Bob Myers. And by the way, why any team in the league that needs a GM would want him.
Right.
But does he want the Mavs job? Or is this being put out there, at least in some part, to put a little bit of pressure on the 76ers? I don't know.
From inside the organization, he's trying to put pressure on them? Like, I feel like if they would had this, like, lined up where it's like, all right, if this Morey thing doesn't work out, it's your job. Like, the decision's probably...
But if there's some type of... if it's not... If the decision... Because, like, I don't think the decision from Josh Harris's standpoint has been made on Morey. They could still make a little bit of a run. They could... Like, if they win a playoff series, they're going to get rid of Morey? I don't think so. If they fall apart down the stretch, does the nurse get fired and Daryl Morey stays? Morey's making a lot of money. You would have to pay him that money if you fired him, right? There's a lot of reasons why they wouldn't get rid of Morey. And there's a lot of reasons why the agent would say to Mark Stein, yeah, the Mavs are really interested in hiring him to be the GM. Doesn't that put pressure on the 76ers to say, it's great that Bob Myers is here and when you need a GM, he's there, but he has another job he might take. So doesn't that change the way of thinking?
I haven't been following the Mavericks general manager job, but from their perspective, them putting this out here, like if they say, hey, we got Bob Myers out there, is it like to everyone else, like, hey, if you're interested in this job, we've got this great candidate. Yeah, come take this job because we're going to move past you. I get what you're saying about the pressure it puts on the 76ers franchise. I don't know. I see Morey and Nurse kind of tied at the hip at this point. Morey only got to hire a Nurse because they had that odd timing of Rivers being hired before Morey. So, you could argue he's going to hire a second coach, but it's kind of difficult for me to imagine a world in which he hires a second coach.
I still think that he could be back, depending. If they're the 6th seed and they're competitive against the Knicks, but they lose, is Morey gone? I don't know.
Then they lose to the Celtics, and the Celtics win the East, and they'd be like, well, they didn't have time to put it all together. They got past the Knicks, who had a really good regular season. Well, had a solid regular season compared to you.
But how do you judge it, right? Because the Sixers aren't winning a championship this year.
No.
The Sixers were built by Morey to win a championship. This was his idea. He wanted to do the star hunting thing. He wanted to do I'm opening up all these max slots so I can have Maxey and Embiid and Paul George. And it's really, like, it's blown up in his face. And Paul George has looked great since he's come back. But it's kind of blown up in his face. So if you're Josh Harris and you're whatever other executive that's making this decision, maybe even Bob Myers, do you give him one? Because what do you do after this year? Is Embiid coming back? If he's coming back, what are you doing? You're just running it back? See, that's like the biggest thing. And it's just like, you're running this back again next year with a couple different pieces of duct tape and some other players and this veteran on a 1 year, and maybe you make a trade. I mean, I don't know, man. That ain't going to work.
Are they enjoying this Paul George run right now, knowing that, hey, you watched Paul George drop 39 points. You watched Paul George look good when he came back from the suspension. It was just what he needed. He needed some time off. He's all well now. Body, mind, spirit, everything's good with him. You want that Paul George 2-year, $100 million contract?
Better chance of getting fired if only one gets fired. Nick Nurse. Yeah. Well, because Nick Nurse is probably going if Morey's gone. The GM's going to want to bring somebody else in.
Yeah, I
think it's more likely Nurse gets fired than Morey.
I guess I just don't see the purpose of doing one, not the other.
Yeah, I don't know why you would you bring in a new coach with Morey.
Because if Morey's on thin ice and you're going to give him another year and they bring in another coach, and you're just going to be paying out another coach probably.
Right.
And I get it. They got deep pockets. It's not my money. I mean, it's kind of my money when you think about it.
Yeah, they got deep pockets, which they've been making sure they don't spend too much money because they've been ducking the luxury tax.
Team that ducks tax wants to pay out all these buyouts.
Yeah, they don't. So honestly, I think
they could be back.
Morey's making, I don't know how long his contract runs. Morey's making like $15 a year. A lot of money.
We could see them rolling this back again, for sure. The interesting is, if you think Bob Myers has a hand in deciding what happens with Morey, if Myers wants the Sixers job, then he would just take the Sixers job,
right? Which he might already be doing behind the scenes.
Now, would you want to be the Sixers president of basketball operations, or would you want to be the Mavericks?
What do you think, Dutz?
I would probably say
Sixers.
If that were me, I would go Dallas, just because we're going to have more cap space. You have Flag, which is a young superstar. I mean, here you have VJ, but
Maxey.
My thing is, John, I understand why firing Daryl Morey could happen. Obviously, he's made a lot of bad moves to justify it. But even bringing in Bob Myers, does that solve the issue? Like, how are you just said it before, how are you fixing this team?
You have to rebuild it.
Well, the only way you could retool, I guess you could say it, if you keep George and Embiid, which I don't think you're moving off of either of them, is to rebuild the bench unit, which is letting Quentin Grimes walk because he hasn't showed you anything this year that I think justifies giving him $18 million or whatever he's going to be seeking next year. And that's it. So I think I'm not a fan of Nick Nurse, but firing Daryl Morey to me doesn't solve any problems because I don't think anybody is capable of fixing this team.
Yeah, but see, that I don't think anything needs to be fixed. You blow it up. And you keep Edgecombe and Maxey.
You can say that's so easy when you say, like, move off of Embiid and George. Like, someone's just going to take Embiid. Like, why would you want him? You and Ray just talked about for 2 hours now about, Joel Embiid missing meetings and not wanting to play or whatever. Like, that could just be with organization. But people around the league are going to hear that. So why would you want to bring on Embiid, who's making $67 million or something like along the lines of that in a couple years?
Because a team like the Clippers says, you know what? If he can give us 50 games and we can get into the playoffs, he can roll out of bed and score 40 on any night. Everybody knows that. You're also not giving up anything for him. I don't know. I honestly I don't know. I don't know if teams would be interested in him.
It kind of loses its luster when it's like, you're trading someone because someone else is going to see what we've been talking ourselves into this entire time.
Clippers right now are the 8th seed in the East or in the West. They're the 8th seed, 39 and 37. You wouldn't want to bring Joel Embiid in? I mean, what's worst case scenario? He plays 50 games next year? I don't know. I mean, there may be nobody interested. It's a huge contract. I'm not denying that.
Right. I mean, they would end up having Embiid for the window in which the Sixers have their first-round pick. Like, the irony of an Embiid injury ended up giving them a better pick.
Right.
Like, an injury for the Clippers Embiid gives the Sixers a better pick in a few years. Yeah, I'm still not there.
Coming up, the Sixers right now hold the tiebreaker. They are the 6th seed in the East right now. But we're going to go through the games, their games and the Raptors games, and where do we end up? Do we think the Sixers actually are going to end up the 6th seed? We'll do that coming up next. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phillies get the series win. I'm Brandon Dutz, and after dropping the first game, the Phillies stormed back and took the final 2 games to win the series against the Washington Nationals. They came back from a 5-1 deficit with Justin Crawford hitting a walk-off single.
It's sharply based hit into right center field. The Phillies have come all the way back, and they have won it on the first career walk-off base hit for Justin Crawford.
That call courtesy of NBC Sports Philadelphia. Phillies are off today as they head out west to start a 3-game set with the Colorado Rockies tomorrow night. The 76ers took down the Wizards 153-131 behind 39 points from Paul George. They now sit in the 6th seed tied with the Toronto Raptors, and they do hold the tiebreaker. They're back in action tomorrow night against the Timberwolves. You can catch that one right here on the Fanatic. And the Flyers return home tonight against the Detroit Red Wings as they continue to make a push for the playoffs, sitting just 2 points out of a wild card spot. You can listen to the game right here on the Fanatic with puck drop set for 7 o'clock. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at crohnscolitisfoundation.org. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
I saw Ricky Bo walk by. Next segment will the April Fool's joke that went right, and it might have went wrong. Next segment. Oh, he's coming in right now. Next segment.
Come on. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Come back.
We'll
talk
back.
through it.
We'll talk through it. Yeah, no, we definitely want to talk about it. He's coming in.
All right,
right,
he's coming
so we'll
now.
just do it right now.
All
right.
15
Next
minutes,
segment.
15 minutes. Yeah, we're not trying to do a show.
Yeah, because Bill came in and said Ricky's pissed, and I'm like, yeah, I
get
know
it.
he is.
Yeah, I
know
get
he
it.
is. Yeah, it's fine.
No.
Well, come next segment, we'll play it for you, and we'll get Ricky's reaction.
Can't
All right?
wait.
Great job by Dylan in doing it. All right, so give me wins and losses here. All right.
All right, let's do it.
Sixers have a back-to-back at home. T-Wolves and Pistons.
Split it.
Okay. Is that best case?
That's probably.
Well, they could win both games.
They could win both games.
All right, let's do glass half full. 2 wins.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
I think.
Let's do glass half full here. At San Antonio.
The loss.
At Houston. I'm going to go loss. At Indiana.
Win.
Home against the Bucks.
Win.
So that is 4 wins.
Yeah, I think 4-2 is probably the likely scenario where you finish here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That means you would have to win the first 2 games.
Or you win the Houston game.
3-3, yeah. And Houston, yeah, it's Houston fighting for position. I'm assuming they're fighting for a position in the West. They're in. They're going to make the playoffs.
Right, everybody's just.
All right, but now the Raptors at Memphis.
Should be a win.
At Boston.
Loss.
And they do this weird thing now in the NBA where you have 2 games in the same, so 2 at Miami.
2 at Miami.
They could split.
Win. Yeah, I guess. Ideally they split.
Let's say they split. So you got 1 win at Miami, 1 win at Memphis. At the Knicks.
Loss.
Home against Brooklyn.
Win.
That's 3.
Then you get 1 game better. So you got to go 4-2 the rest of the way.
Well, you go 3-3, you're in because you hold the tiebreaker.
Yeah, you're right. You are right about that. It's just tough for me to imagine. The Heat, I understand that they beat the Sixers the other night. I'll ideally hope they split them.
But they've also clinched being in the play-in, but they're also the Hornets and the Magic and the Heat all have similar records. So are they positioning to be in that play-in? So because you don't want to play, you're worried about that? You're worried about, I don't want to play the Raptors. I want to play the Hornets. Probably not. But also, you're not resting your starters.
Right. Yeah, maybe I'm just underrating the Heat, even though they did beat the Sixers this week. The Knicks will be an interesting one, depending on where they're slotted by the time they get to the Knicks. Like, if they get to the Knicks that Friday night, and we're all like, New York, get us a W so we can play you.
Knicks are 2.5 behind the Celtics, but they're only a game and a half above the Cavs.
Right.
So they don't have our seed set. We're not going to resting starters or whatever.
By the time they get to that Friday, though, they could.
Could be.
More what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the second to last game of the year.
Right. So we'll see what they have in terms of availability then. Who knows? Maybe at that point, Josh Hart and Stephen A. Smith are just fighting in center court at halftime. But
that could happen.
Yeah.
But
But there's a chance. I feel a lot better after last night with them getting number 6.
Now, are you in?
I'm in. I'm in. I don't know. What more do you want from me on this one? I'm in.
What would you say the percentage chance is that the Sixers make the 6th seed?
Sixers 45.
So just under.
Just under. I'm really counting on them winning 2 of. I guess.
I would say 3-3 would be the most likely scenario. Let me see here.
Does 3-3 get you that Memphis? So what, Memphis? They play Memphis Friday night. If you wake up Friday night and you're ahead of Toronto by a full game, not just by the tiebreaker, you're, I would say, 60, 65%.
All right, so here's this website that I use, playoffstatus.com, and I'm just assuming whatever formula they have is correct. I don't know that. I haven't done the math myself, Ray.
Right.
But for the Sixers to be the 6th seed, they're 39% likely to be the 6th seed.
Oh. Wow, I was optimistic.
The Raptors are 30% because the Hawks are 25%, And the Sixers are, let me see.
So the Sixers are the best.
So here's why. The Hawks hold the tiebreaker over the Sixers. So if the Raptors were to be the 5 seed, and the Hawks and the Sixers finished with the same record, the Hawks would be the 6 seed. Because the Sixers still do have an 8% chance to be the 5th seed, a 39% chance to be the 6th seed, a 36% chance to be the 7, and then it goes down from there.
The Hawks have just 5 games left. 2 of them against Cleveland, 1 against Miami, 1 against the Knicks, and then 1 against Brooklyn. So there's 1 free win against Brooklyn.
And not easy games otherwise.
So they could drop down. The Sixers have the 4th most difficult schedule remaining in the NBA.
You would almost rather the Hawks have a bunch of cupcakes and they win the games, and then you don't have to worry because you want them. You don't want to be finishing a tie with them.
Yeah, or they just bottom out. That would be great. Now, they've been hot since the All-Star break, so them just falling apart and dropping dead would be very difficult to imagine. But maybe you're hoping that they just find a sense of reality coming up here where they beat the Nets. They've got the Nets tomorrow night. Great. Oh, so they'll win that game.
Yeah, that's a win.
And then you're hoping they lose all 4 to close out the season. The Knicks beat them. The Cavs take 2 games.
Sixers are a game and a half behind the Hawks, so they have 1 game in hand.
So, yeah, they're a game and a half. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. You're a game and a half with them having the tiebreaker, basically 2.5 games. You're going to need them to go 1-4. You need to go 4-2 to get to the 5.
Yeah, no, I don't. I just want them to win, so you don't have to worry about them at all. Yeah. It's you against the Raptors. I mean, really, the Sixers have put themselves in the driver's seat. Unfortunately, they have some really tough games down the stretch.
So then when you go to the 7 seed on that website, they're telling you that most likely the Raptors are the 7 at this point? Because the Sixers at 39% seems like the most likely of all of them to be the 6 seed.
Correct.
So the Raptors would be probably like 40% to be the 7.
These Sixers, they're 30%. The Sixers right now, according to this website, 39% being the 6 seed. 30 for the Raptors, 25 for the Hawks.
Got it. And then the 7? Can you get the 7 or that?
Yeah, Sixers are 36%. Raptors are 37, and then it really falls off from there. It's almost like 6% that the Hawks would be the 7 because they hold the tiebreaker over.
So right now the odds are telling you the Sixers are more likely to be the 6th, and the Raptors are more likely to be the 7th.
Correct.
Got it.
Yep. There you go.
Man,
I'll take that.
Some kid listening right now making 6-7 jokes left and right.
Right. So
this entire conversation.
So even though Embiid didn't play last night, which I really have no issue with, he's playing back to back. Correct. He's playing both games.
You think he's playing both games this weekend?
He better.
I don't think he's playing both
games.
He
can't play 2 games in a row?
Has he played 2 games in a row over the last how many calendar years?
But I know, but these 2 games might be the season between being the 6th seed and not being a playoff team, and now you got the play-in game. Tell me he can't play 2 games in a row?
That's exactly what I'm telling you, because we were told by him before the season he's not playing back-to-backs.
Yeah, but now doesn't he kind of have to? If he's physically not able to do it, he can't. Like, you tell me he literally can't? Seriously?
That's what we've been told, and that's what I believe we're going to be told when it gets to either Saturday or if they rule him out for Friday.
He's not going to be ruled out Friday. I know he was sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. Do we have the Brett Brown sneezing and sneezing and sneezing? Is it? Where is it? Is it on 2? I don't know. With Joel Embiid being sick, it was before one of the playoffs.
Sneezing and sneezing and sneezing.
Before one of the playoff games, and I don't think he played in it, but Brett Brown had said he was at film session, and all I could hear was
sneezing and sneezing and sneezing.
Right. So that's what it was. He was disrupted the film session, 6 years ago?
2019.
Yeah, so now 7 years ago. So
why is he always ill? Why does he always have a cold?
I don't know, man.
By the way, why is he the only guy that has a cold that can't fight through it and has to miss time?
Maxey missed 2 games with a cold earlier this season.
A cold or the flu?
Flu.
Coming up, Ricky Bo was pranked yesterday on Unfiltered, and he was very unhappy about it. We'll play it, and we'll get his live reaction on the show. Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Kincade and Salciunas, 6 to 10 a.m. Middays with
with Marks, Ray Dunn, Gutsy. Jason Martinez makes his return tomorrow. Sean Brace. We actually have a Sean Brace parody song we'll play in the 1 o'clock hour. Joe Blanton, former Philly, will join us as the Phils have the day off. They're going out to Colorado. We'll check in and see what Joe is doing these days and how closely he's following the Phillies. You know, Joe Blanton also most likely will be the last pitcher to hit a home run in the World Series, as the DH is in both leagues right now. So Joe Blanton joins us coming up at 1 o'clock. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, April Fool's Day, and we were oblivious to it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe in future years we would try to pull something off, but it was just another day to us, and it's like, oh, it is April Fool's.
Every day I'm on the air is a Fool's Day. So
Yeah, you are a fool. All right, well, so the 3 o'clock hour of the program of Unfiltered with Ricky Bowe and Bill Colarulo was started with Ricky Batalco reading what he thought was a new sponsor to the program. Here's how it sounded.
We have a new 3 o'clock hourly sponsor, Ricky Bowe?
Apparently we do. The 3 p.m. hour is brought to you by Zyprexia. In baseball, just like in life, when something pops out of nowhere, you got to deal with it fast. If you ever had one of those surprise outbreaks, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's why more guys are turning to Zyprexia. Take it from me, Ricky Bowe. I'm no stranger to the occasional hemorrhoid. It's about an absolute casserole down there, but hey, one dose of Zyprexia clears it right up. Hits me back.
Oh, we April Fool's them.
Why did he just keep going?
Oh, man, I thought he knew. I'm sitting over here. I'm hysterical. I'm covering my face.
It says right here, I'm no stranger to the occasional hemorrhoid. This is the best part. It's an absolute casserole down there.
All right, there you go, Ricky Bowe. They got you. Now, I don't know if you saw Bill laughing. You're starting to do it.
Why would I see Bill laughing? I'm reading something.
I know, but out of your periphery vision, you see, because his head was almost on the counter.
The dude can't speak, so I mean, why would I even bother looking over there?
All right, so
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. They gave me a read. I thought it was real.
They were mean.
Well, number one, Dylan's got a lot of payback coming, and it's by the way, it's not going to be pretty because I'm telling you right now, I will not speak to him for as long as I'm here. Yeah.
Forever.
That's not a joke.
Forever.
I will not speak to him anymore.
Dylan McKinnon, who is not only our digital guy around here, but he also is a producer on Unfiltered. It was his idea.
Apparently, it was his idea.
That's
I know all the culprits. Bill was one of them, so he'll have to pay back. He'll have to get payback. Trent was one of them.
Oh, our sales executive.
Yeah,
because he filled it out like it was an actual spot.
Yeah,
it looks like a real
which is
read.
why I didn't pick up on it till the bottom.
What was the word that when did you realize you were in?
I got about 2 sentences in, and I kind of, you peek at the bottom. I'm like, they got me. Let's see how this goes. And I just kept going, and then I think casserole might have.
Yeah, that's where it went.
The outbreak thing. I was like,
so
what are we
I
talking
thought it was
about
actually,
here?
I thought it was for herpes at first, and then when you said the hemorrhoid, I'm like, oh well, like hemorrhoids really have outbreaks.
I have no idea.
So
I have no idea.
So was it a treatment for herpes or hemorrhoids? Because I've had hemorrhoids.
It was hemorrhoids.
I agree.
It was roids.
But typically you don't say outbreak of hemorrhoids. Like
Now,
do
if
have
they
one
were
pop up.
steroids, it would have been Bill's read. I don't know what to tell you. You guys have been handed stuff to read like last minute, and you're like, all right, I'll just be the good soldier and read it. Guess what? I got punched in the back of the head with it.
If Ray would have given me something last minute, we're like, hey, like the music's rolling. Hey,
We need you.
We need you to read this. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. So I just read it.
They would have got me.
I mean, I guess you could call it getting you, but what if I declined and it was actually something that had to be read?
Well, just do that next time. Next time they say, Ricky, can you read this for us? Say no.
Just have Bill read it.
Yeah, be spiteful.
Yeah, just say, hey, Bill, right there.
I don't know. They all think they're funny and everything. Savannah comes in one day this week and she thinks she's funny. You got Bill who can't speak a word of English. You got Dylan who just will do anything to try to embarrass everybody else, and nobody else has access to our social media.
Well, I was going to ask if
he's a punk. You know, I called you guys that out of jest. Like, what did I call you? A scumbag?
Scumbag. You called me an ass.
I've called you a bunch of stuff.
Right.
By the way, you are the worst because you will bury anybody. Any chance you get, you will bury anybody. See, this guy.
Well, you call him a rat.
He's
Normally.
worse than a rat. A rat. He's an infested rat. He's a hemorrhoid-infested rat.
I was going to ask him if he was really mad, but I don't have to ask that anymore.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm not mad at Bill. They played a joke on me.
Okay.
I was more ticked off that he put it out on social media. We weren't on TV yesterday.
Right.
So he was rolling on something else.
But it was a funny moment. It was very funny.
For who?
It doesn't make you look stupid.
I didn't think it was funny.
No, but,
I guess I did. I laughed during it.
But it doesn't.
But like my whole thing, my first thought is revenge.
Well, I understand that.
That's cool.
And that's good. But like if you think that it made you look foolish, it doesn't. It's a funny moment from the show.
Yeah, but then now we got other stuff going out. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's why he just ran away, because people are, you have the cigarette in your mouth made up thing. Yeah. Now there's things on
got
that
a little
being
AI.
made up.
Yeah. Some Ricky Bo AI images have been surfacing, which I can understand. Yeah.
Payback's going to be a little rough.
There he is. There's
Payback's going to be a little rough.
He wants to hug it out.
0% chance.
He's not even looking at him. For those that are tuned in on the radio, Dylan is right behind us right now trying to hug it out with
He
Ricky.
literally has 0% chance.
I know, but he's doing his job and trying to put good content out there. It was a funny joke. It was at your expense, but it didn't make I'd be pissed off if it made me look bad.
Once I get revenge, then I'll be happy.
Then it'll be okay.
I just can't. You know what? Dylan will blast anybody, and never any repercussions for him. Never.
No, it is interesting about that. There is never any repercussions.
There we go.
You know what? Maybe I'm a little pent-up anger that it's going to be a lot put back on him.
It has been years. It has been years of Dylan tormenting.
Okay. Yes, and see, you guys get the same thing.
Well, yeah. I've had to deal with Dylan for years now.
And Bill's defending him.
Of course.
Bill's a weasel, too.
Glad it took you so long to realize.
We got all kinds of rodents. We got weasels, rats. They're all running around.
Scumbags.
All right, there he is, Ricky Metallico, legitimately
show,
pissed.
guys.
Thank you. We'll see you in about an hour. Legitimately pissed. And again, I thought it was a great moment for the show, and it humanized Ricky a little bit. Right? Like, it was funny. They got him. But this is where he does need to get revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all in on the revenge thing. I'm all in on him getting Dylan.
And Bill.
Trust me, I'm in on him getting Bill.
All right, so why don't you conspire?
I could. Well, if we talk about conspiring together, it's not much of a conspiracy, is it?
What's you showed it to me earlier. What's the picture that was put out?
Oh, man. If Bayless got him. It's a picture of him with whatever he was promoting and him saying that he's got hemorrhoids.
Yeah, honestly, the hemorrhoid thing, if it would have been, like at first I thought it was for herpes, and that wouldn't have been good.
No, that
would have been a lot meaner. I've struggled with I've had my struggle with hemorrhoids before.
It's an absolute casserole down there.
It doesn't even look like them.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't look. Yeah, it doesn't look at all like Ricky Bo. But yeah, Zaprexa? Is that what it is?
Johnny, up to like 30,000 views on Instagram too.
Is that right?
That's why Ricky's fan.
Don't shove his face in it, man. Don't tell him that.
Only 30,000.
Only.
Just 30,000 views. That's all, Ricky. Only 30.
Now he's gonna kick.
All right, coming up, Joe Blanton, former Phillies starter. Now he is a wine expert. He is a winery. What does he think about the 76ers? What does he think about the Phillies start to the season? And also, Joe Blanton, the last pitcher ever to hit a home run in the World Series, and probably will be the last pitcher. They don't hit in the World Series anymore. And just some old stories with the Phillies and Joe Blanton. He's coming up next. Middays and Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about your garage floor. If it's cracked, stained, and peeling like mine, it's time for an upgrade. And Comer & Cross, that's C-O-M-E-R. Comer & Cross can transform your entire garage floor in just one day. And right now, how about 50% off installation? This is not epoxy. This is not paint. Comer Cross is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift. And they handle everything. They move your items out, they repair the cracks and damage, and then they install a custom finish that looks like a showroom floor. You won't believe how great it looks. And 50% off installation. It's fast, clean, and built to last. It's the perfect showroom finish when you come home. And Comer & Cross are the experts. So if you know your garage floor is in bad shape and you've been thinking about doing this, don't do it yourself. Don't go the epoxy route. Call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or the website comercross.com. COMER cross.com.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A big boost for the Flyers. I'm Brandon Dutz, and the Flyers get a huge boost as they make a playoff push with Tyson Forrester set to return tonight after missing 4 months with an upper body injury. The Flyers are back at home tonight, taking on the Red Wings at 7 o'clock. You can listen to that game right here on The Fanatic. The Phillies got the comeback win to take the series against the Nationals, courtesy of a walk-off single from Justin Crawford. They're off today and will head out west to take on the Rockies tomorrow with Aaron Nola taking the mound. 2008 World Series champion Joe Blanton will join the show coming up next to talk everything about the Phillies. And the 76ers took down the Wizards behind 39 points from Paul George. They're back at home tomorrow night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can catch that game right here on The Fanatic. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage starting at 6. This update is brought to you by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals for a pretty biggie deal. Gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
So does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration, 3 locations, Bala Kinwood, Wayne, Pennsylvania, and Lancaster. Championship results. Visit Morgenstern, Morgan with an E, morgensternhair.com, or call 610-831-HAIR. There you go. Fanatic Deal of the Week, Museum of the American Revolution. Check it out. Buy one ticket, get one free. That's 2 tickets, just $25. The exhibits, George Washington's original war tent. Experience the stories that build a nation. Its history brought to life. 975thefanatic.com/deals. You know what I've done? You consider me cheap, and we're waiting on Joe Blanton.
No, I think smart.
I agree. I'm not, because I spend money on everything, but I also, given an opportunity to save some cash, I'd do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, no cheap man buys that tracksuit that you bought.
Yeah, it was almost $200.
Yeah. No,
I wish I had that money back, so I've worn it once.
We'll wear it again tomorrow.
I'm going to wear it tomorrow. But so the Rochford Library, you can go and you can get museum tickets, and they'll give it to you like for the weekend. So I can go down to Franklin Institute or the Museum of Natural Science, and they'll give you 4. They'll give you 4. What I forget. I think it's 4. But they'll give you, like, so you can take the whole family down for free. That's what I do.
So now you just go to Royersford Library. I love that library when I was young.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Well, now I go to the deal of the week. 975thefanatic.com/deals.
Of course.
And that's
Get
what I
to
do.
See me as a reenactor.
Yep. You look like a reenactor. You do.
I do.
Get your bayonet and your musket.
Especially earlier this week before the haircut.
Yep.
With the thicker beard, it does look like I existed in a time without any way to really cut down the beard.
You don't look like a reenactor at this point.
No.
Phillies did get a walk-off win yesterday.
They did.
It's actually the first time we're mentioning it here. A lot of Sixers and Eagles early. But I'm at softball practice last night, and one of the dads, John, big Phillies fan, I was wearing a Phillies shirt, and he goes, how you wearing that shirt after today? And I'm like, you didn't see the ninth inning, did you? And he's like, no way. And I'm like, yup.
Bransky called it.
Did he?
Yeah, he said it at the beginning of the ninth. Like, hey, like for those of you that are listening to us right now that are out in traffic, you guys are going to miss a heck of a finish here. You guys are in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, they it was a really good comeback. Down to their final strike, bases loaded, and especially a guy with Sosa. He's not an everyday player, and generally when you're not an everyday player, you're down 0-2. They're going to throw you slop, and you're going to swing and miss or whatever, right? Like I didn't have a lot of faith that Sosa was coming through. But, man, he caught a ball in the middle of the plate, and he drove it and tied ball game. And then they weren't able to do anything that inning. But, yeah, they came back. They went in the 10th inning. And just like a really, really big win and a big comeback. Because even though it's 3-3, it's still the taste in your mouth as a Phillies fan is a pretty good taste in your mouth because they won the series. They came back. The day off. Now you go out to Colorado. Later games, I know that it's a 4:00 game tomorrow, but Colorado's not a good team. Then you go to San Francisco. They haven't had a particularly good start, and now the pressure's off of them a little bit, and you can just enjoy it. So, like, great comeback win yesterday. Really, really good. Sanchez didn't have his best stuff. I still was able to make it with only giving up one run.
It's kind of amazing. Walking four guys, you end up getting yourself through, only allowing one run. It was definitely difficult to see the way Keller went in that game and how they found themselves behind. But good to see JT. Good to see Harper. They get themselves something to be positive about when they get on that flight. And then it was amazing. We talked a lot this homestand about what's the same and what's kind of old about this team and what we know and what we've seen before and what we've understood about this team before. But what was new was kind of what won them the series. Andrew Painter acted as that stopper on a 3-game losing skid, 5 1/3. And I understand it wasn't just Justin Crawford that brought you back, but certainly for Justin Crawford to be the one that ends up walking it off for you in that 9th inning, this was the infusion of energy they were talking about when they talked about the youth, talk about adding guys to this team, kind of changing the dynamic of that clubhouse a little bit. And you got that. For 2 days, it was nice to see the young guys come through.
Yeah, 7th inning, 2 outs, 2 on, and all you need is one more out and get out of the inning. That was a kick in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, God, man, now you're behind, and now you're thinking, now you lost the series. And you're like, damn it, they're 2-4. How are you going to lose 2 or 3 of the Nationals? And just like that in the 9th inning, they tie the game and then they come back. So it was a really, really good win.
Yeah.
The Nationals fight. They may not have the most talent. They have some young talent on that team.
They're good. They do. You'll expect them to turn at some point, especially with some of the bats they got. So yeah, now they've been able to show you something. They were, to their credit, they had multiple times where you thought they were going to walk out of here with the series win, and they kept it close.
They did. All right. Well, joining us right now is a world champion in this town, Ray Dunn, and let's play it. Hit it there, Dutsy. What do we got?
The 2-1 is hit well into left. How about Blanton going deep?
And I read Joe Blanton said his son wasn't as impressed with the home run as maybe we are, Ray Dunn.
How could you not be impressed with that?
Standard definition TV. Joe Blanton joins us right now, who will learn about what he's doing with wine in California. Joe, thanks for a couple minutes, but how are you?
Thanks for having me on. I'm great. Thank you.
It is crazy when you look at that, and my kids are the same way. We'll watch some we were watching Home Alone, and it was in standard definition, and they're like, Daddy, I don't want to watch this. It looks bad. And it's like, well, that's what we did back then. But, yeah, 2008 is almost 20 years ago, Joe.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's been that long ago. It definitely does not feel that long ago.
It doesn't. Last pitcher ever to hit a home run in the World Series, and you probably will be the last, right? Because with the DH, you would have to have a pinch hitter come in as a pitcher, and that seems very unlikely. Now, do you ever get tired of people asking you about that, or like us bringing you on and playing the home run?
Well, we have the one exception. We have the Ohtani exception, I guess, is the one that could do it all. But he's got to do it while he's starting, so kind of changes the game a little bit, right?
Yeah, he's probably going to do that. Actually,
you find yourself rooting against Ohtani then when he's pitching, rooting against hitting a home run.
I wouldn't say rooting against him, but. I don't really notice it before the game or during, if I'm, like last year in the World Series, but I do notice after maybe a little bit of relief when it doesn't happen.
Well, that's so cool that you even think about that still, because that was such a great time. And as somebody that grew up here, Joe, and we saw '93, they went to the World Series, but really, as a Phillies fan, my entire life, I didn't see a lot of winning. And then you get Jimmy, you get Chase, you get Ryan, and then you're brought in 2008, and you really complete a rotation. And we knew you were a good team. I didn't know if I saw a World Series coming, but everything just came together, and you were a big part of that. I mean, you helped solidify that rotation, and the run you guys went on, and then back to the World Series the following year was it's one of the best runs that any franchise has had in this city's history, and you were a big part of that.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it was a great group to be a part of. It was, I think, like you said, they kind of, the year before I got there, they kind of, I don't want to say snuck in, but the whole, what was it, Jimmy calling out the Mets, they're going to collapse, and that comeback, and then, then they get in. That was before I was there, so I don't have as much memory of that. But when I came over in '08, it just seemed like a team that knew how to win and did whatever it took. I mean, we had, when you look back at it, we had the MVPs and the Silver Sluggers, the Gold Gloves, the names, the All-Stars, what have you. But it was a really gritty group for having such big names as well that kind of did whatever it took to win a ball game.
Sure did. I'm actually just getting chills thinking about asking you this, but back in 2008, and you think about Citizens Bank Park was only a couple years old, and the atmosphere at Citizens Bank, some of those games against the Mets in 2008, some of those weekend games, like the Sunday games, was just you came from the A's, and A's were a good team, but also it's not the stadium and the atmosphere. What was it like playing in those games in 2008, in 2009, where Citizens Bank Park was the place to be?
It was, and it definitely was a little bit of a change, coming from Oakland to Philly. Very, very different. All of a sudden, you find yourself in a pennant race, going to the World Series. It's definitely a change, and I still get asked questions all the time. What ballpark should I go watch at? I said you should go watch a home game in Philadelphia when it's against a competitive team or a competitor, like a rival, like the Mets or another team like that. I said that's a game you should go watch.
Let me play word association here with some of the characters from who you played with in Philly. Charlie Manuel.
Ooh, Charlie. I love Charlie. Charlie's amazing. One of the best managers I had. Just awesome person that had his players back.
The big piece, Ryan Howard.
Just power. I mean, big home runs left and right constantly. RBI machine. Just really stabilized that middle of the lineup.
Chase Utley.
Oh, grinder. I mean, one of my favorite players to watch. Just took nothing for granted. Hustled everything out. Just the definition of just kind of a blue collar worker. And the thing that people don't see was how smart he was as well. I mean, you see the hustle, you see all that stuff, but the baseball IQ that guy had was just off the charts.
J-Roll, Jimmy Rollins.
J-Roll, smooth, right? I mean, just everything he did was just nice and easy, smooth. There was not a hurry to the game, which made the game really slow down for him and obviously made him come through in big moments.
And Roy Halladay.
Oh, Halladay's in that Chase Utley. Just a worker. I mean, workhorse, obviously on the mound. Innings just would eat innings up, competed left and right, just would not give in to any hitter, came right after them all, and kind of same as Chase. Us just off the field, behind in the clubhouse, you're one of the absolutely hardest workers I've ever seen. Comes over with a Cy Young, wins another one there, and just the work ethic was unmatched.
When you look back at those runs and those teams for you guys, obviously you get it done in 08, but the pressure to get it back and do it again and get back there. You know, we talk a lot about this current team, about getting the job done and getting back to when they were in the World Series in 2022. What's it like to be in that competitive clubhouse year in and year out and feel that pressure as an athlete that is, one, you guys did it, so it's a little different than what this group is going through right now, but to try and get back to the level that you were at, the platform you were at just years prior?
I think that's a great question, and I think for us, speaking more for us specifically, you get there and you win it the first time. It's great. Oh my, and then you go 09, 10, 11. We had absolutely great teams, and that's what you want. I mean, you want to be in that conversation every year that you see on MLB Network. You hear people talking. You want to be one of those 4 or 5 teams at the top of the list that they're talking about that has a chance to win, that has a chance to walk away with the trophy, last team standing. That's what you want. It does bring an added pressure. I can't speak for the team now. I mean, we had won one, but to be honest, we didn't look at it as we're going to set on our merits and, we've won one, we can just coast by. Our goal was to always win another one, if not 2 more, obviously by the team they were putting on the field. So it does bring an added pressure. And I think most of that comes from the outside sources that are coming in. When you're in there with the guys, like I said, I can't speak as much. It's only outside looking in. It looks like they have a great locker room culture. And a great thing going with a great group of guys. And that's a huge part of it, where you can internalize a lot of that and kind of wash a lot of that away and just at the end of the day go out and compete within the lines. And that's what we had and we were able to do. Unfortunately, they said it's not easy to win one. And definitely not easy to win multiple ones within a short amount of time.
Yeah, talking to Joe Blanton, who now is you're a wine guy. Tell us about you. You have a vineyard and you have a wine. Tell us about what you're doing now.
I do. Yeah, I live in Napa. Like you said, I have a vineyard, make wine. So basically, just trying to live the life afterwards, and just enjoying what I do now, coaching kids and trying to live a little bit of the wine lifestyle along with it.
But I read something. You're actually you're getting the grapes and you're rolling the sleeves up. You're really involved in it.
I am. Yeah. When I did it, I thought I was going to just be hanging out, drinking wine and, going to parties and fancy dinners, but I did not realize I'd be sitting behind a computer dealing with compliances and shipping regulations and all kinds of other things. But yes, I am very, very involved. I have a winemaker who's absolutely fantastic, one of the best in the world. But for the most part, yeah, I'm hitting the pavement. I get back to Philly every couple times a year, I would say, and do a couple wine events and travel some other places and do them as well. But I'm definitely very, very hands on.
So Joe, you after you were acquired in 2008, you go 4-0 with the Phillies, win the World Series. You come back, have a really good year in 2009. 2010, that season, I just remember, as a fan, you guys, and you obviously have the aces that come in, and then you have your pitching staff. But, man, you had some really good teams. And that the Giants series NLCS loss was a killer, and then the Cardinals losing as well. But, man, you guys, and like you said, it's really, really hard to win. And probably your best teams were the ones that we talked to Jason Worth about this as well. He's like, probably the best Phillies teams were the ones that didn't win. It's so hard to win.
My time there, it would be hard to argue that the teams that didn't win were probably better than the one. I mean, the 2011 team was just stacked. The rotation, unbelievable. The lineup pieces that kept getting added, same 10, 9. Unfortunately, we just ran into whatever it was every year. The team that we, you want to call it a consolation prize, whatever it is, we always lost to the team that ended up winning. 09 was obviously in the World Series, the Yankees. 10 was, 10 was the Giants in the CS. They go on to win that year. 11, we lost to the Cardinals. They go on to win that year. So every year we lost to the eventual winner, but that doesn't really get you much. But that's 100% right. I mean, the teams we had on the field those years were just incredible. It's just the playoff structure these days. It just shows you how hard it is to win, and you got more teams in it now, more teams competitive throughout. With the added wild cards, I should say, makes it even tougher. So you got teams that maybe talented, maybe had the injury bug early, that maybe get healthy at the end of the year, slide their way in. Which, if you're talking years past, even prior to those years we're talking about, wouldn't have even got in. Now they're a good team, healthy at the right time, all of a sudden go on a run.
Yep. The Sports Illustrated cover with the aces, Roy, Cole, Cliff, you. What was that like for you being in a, what Roy Halladay is, what the other guys are. What was that like for you? What was that whole experience like?
So for me, it was, I don't want to say it's look, that's another one. I mean, you mentioned my son being like, oh, the home run, what's the big deal? Another day, I think he saw it in my office, and he was like, what's this? I was like, I'm on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He was like, and like they don't even
they don't know
they don't it's a different generation that they don't understand. I think what when we grew up, right, it was one of two things: cover of Sports Illustrated and on a Wheaties box, right? That was that was an awesome experience. And for me, I don't know how many people know the story. I always feel like if somebody brings it up, I have to tell it, because we talk about Roy Halladay, what kind of competitor, what kind of what kind of athlete he was, and obviously in the Hall of Fame and all these things. I think sometimes we see that, and the character of people gets left out. Not that his does by any means, but so the story of actually behind that is they approached obviously Cole and Roy and Cliff and Doc to do the front of the Sports Illustrated, just the four of them, and Doc was the one that spoke up and said, we're a starting staff of 5. He goes, we either all do it or none of us do it. So I just think that speaks to what kind of teammate he was and what kind of character he had. So basically, as it started, if it would have been up them, I wouldn't have been on it, which is fine. I understand, though those guys had different accolades and were on a different stratosphere than a lot of other people, but that's just the kind of teammate he was. He said, we're not a staff of 4, we're a staff of 5. And then basically they were like, well, okay.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It is really cool, the story that put you guys on that Sports Illustrated cover. And we mentioned one of your former teammates earlier, Jason Worth, and we've talked to him a couple times, and being someone that was down there in Washington with Bryce Harper, with Trey Turner, you also got that experience in your final Major League season. Could you take us in to what it's like to be in the clubhouse? Granted, it was a younger Trey Turner, a younger Bryce Harper, but your experience of being teammates with those two guys and what sticks out to you from those memories?
Yeah, like you said, it was. I mean, shoot, I don't want to date anything. That was, that was 9 years ago now. So you got to think, Trey 9 years ago. I think he was in his first full year. He had been maybe a half year or so call up the year before. So was in his first year, but I hate saying great kid because he's not a kid. But then, I mean, you could see what kind of athlete he was and what kind of talent he has. And it's been, obviously him coming over. It's been great watching him the past few years and, him showcasing his talent to the big stage in Philly. It was a great individual. Same for Bryce. Just a gamer. When I came over there, I think he was maybe 23, 24. I'm thinking at the time. Yep. But you could see his competitive nature, and that was a clubhouse that we were filled with veterans. I mean, so he was really young in that clubhouse, but was kind of obviously was the big name. And so it's been great watching him in Philly as well, and just, he's that guy that when the lights are the brightest, he shines the most, it seems like. Always seems to show up in the postseason and get hits, and, it's been great to watch as well. So would love to see that group slap a ring on their finger as well.
For sure. Listen, when you come to town in the summer, let's catch up again. We'll help you sell some wine. We look forward to talking to you again. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. There's Joe Bland. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it, buddy. There he is.
Yep. You're welcome.
All right, man. And it's Sala Wines. Sala Wines.
Yes. And I'm going to be a good customer when he comes to town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take care of a couple bottles for him.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah. Just that's a nice thank you on that. Joining us. Good to catch up with Joe.
Yeah, and again, I'm like the biggest Joe Blanton. I didn't want to bring it up to him because I didn't want it to seem like it was insulting. But I'm the biggest Joe Blanton fan in Philly because he was the fifth starter. You knew where you were getting from him pretty much every time. Okay, his ERA might have been 4, but that was good.
Yeah, for people my age, like the Joe Blanton experience is so much of like this pitcher hit a home run in the World Series, and it's like this guy was the best. Like. There are so many people my age that I meet that are like, who I really loved from that 08 team? Joe Blanton.
Me too.
And how could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not?
All right, coming back, 610-632-0975. A bunch of voice memos, so we'll get to them, the text line as well. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Tyson Forster returns. I'm Brandon Dutz, and this update is brought to you by Comer & Cross. Comer & Cross garage floors done in just one day. Get 50% off installation right now. Call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or visit comercross.com. As the Flyers make a late playoff push, they're getting a huge reinforcement back in Tyson Forster, who's been out since December with an upper body injury. They're back in action later today against the Detroit Red Wings with puck drop set for 7 o'clock. You can listen to the game right here on the Fanatic. The Phillies head out west and will start a 3-game series with the Rockies tomorrow night with Aaron Nola taking the mound. Former Phillies World Series champion Joe Blanton joined the show earlier. You can listen to the full interview on our website or the Fanatic app. The 76ers will go for their second straight win tomorrow night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can catch that one right here on the Fanatic. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock and pregame coverage starting at 6. This update is also brought to you by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals for a pretty biggie deal. Gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary. I'm Brandon Dutz on the home of the 76ers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic.
Yeah, we think he was texting.
Negative, Nate.
He was texting us about the Flyers. Dutz had sent something about what's the Flyers news.
Forrester, back.
He's back. Yes, tonight.
Thought that he wasn't going to come back for the season. Now he's back. It was, 4 months? This is why when I was reading the update 4 months ago when he was out, I said, I think he's going to be out till April. 4 months.
All right.
Some people were like, it's going to be the season. Guy like me.
See that?
I don't want to assume anything. I did the math in my head.
That's why you're a newsman.
Yep. I was like, hey, listen, if they're in a playoff chase, who knows?
All right, we got a couple voice memos here. Let's go to the Davis Honda text line for these. Go ahead.
Angry Al, retired. Johnny Marks, I told you he was never going to make it through the 9 games for whatever reason, because he's a bum, and they're not going to make the playoffs, so you might as well forget about it. And Ray, I told you to stop going to the Phillies game, and they will win. Have a nice day, gentlemen.
They won with me there, Angry Al. I don't understand
That's true.
what we're doing with this. This is a real Colorado influence over you right now. I don't like it.
Yeah, the night before they won.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we if they start losing again at home and you're there, we'll bring it back up.
I can tell you, the next game I'll be at is the 10th. So we could revisit after that weekend. If they have a tough weekend, 10th, 11th, 12th, then we can start talking about it.
All right, we got one on Jalen Hurts. Go ahead.
This is Kevin from Delco. And if anybody's surprised with the Jalen Hurts information, have you been living under a rock? The guy shows no body language. That's common. And obviously, this isn't a hit piece on Hurts. It gives the pros, it gives the cons. All right, that's what this whole story was. If anybody's surprised with any of this information, you must have been living under a rock for the past few years. All the guy does is win. Yeah, he's a strange bird every once in a while, but so is everybody. Also, Ray Dunn, you're welcome. 2 wins in a row for the Phillies. That hoax, the haunting of Harry K is over, what I tell you, with that ghost can.
Yep.
He saved us. He put the Ghost Energy drink over at the Harry Cal staff.
And they won 2 straight games.
They won 2 straight games.
Yep.
So have you had it yet, the Ghost Energy drink?
I've had it a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
For whatever, I like energy drinks, even though I kind of haven't had any in the last week or so.
Everything all right? You got the ginger ale,
Yeah, I'm again. It goes back to cost. So there's some good deals at Wegmans on the Seagram's ginger ale, and then there was they had the bottles of Diet Pepsi. So instead of buying the energy drink 12-pack, I'm like, I'll just buy some soda. It's like diet soda. That's worse for you probably. But no, I tried the Ghost. Yeah, it was fine. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an energy drink guy. You know that about me, so it's not something for me. I'm a coffee guy. I went and did the La Colombe. I went actually to La Colombe.
To buy La Colombe?
To buy, it's a 12-pack of those coffee cans because it's just...
What do they cost for a 12-pack? Like $2 each?
No, like $2.50.
Something like that.
Yeah. No. It's cheaper. I did it by per what I buy, especially if I go the...
So what do you think, like $4 each if you buy them?
Right, individually. I think out of the... concession, whatever the thing is in there.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so it's cheaper to do it like that. And then even at the grocery store, if you buy the 4-pack, it's a little bit cheaper to do it just at La Colombe. And I like the La Colombe place. I'd sit down there, have a draft latte, hang out, get some work done. I'm a fan. So
where's there a La Colombe?
Right in Fishtown.
Oh, okay, by your house.
Yeah, so not far. It's a nice walk.
Right.
With the weather being nicer, it's easier to just go pick up. But I am walking through the entire neighborhood carrying a 12-pack of the La Colombe cans.
Well, it's not that big.
I mean, it's pretty funny to watch me walk with it.
Well, how big is a 12-pack of La Colombe? And explain what La Colombe is for the people
It's like a coffee in a can. So it's like instead of me walking around with the beer case, I'm walking around with the coffee case.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just funny. Like you see the dudes that are walking with like the 2 30 racks of beer that are like, yeah, I'm about to have a weekend. It's me walking my little 12-pack coffee cans. Like, yeah, I don't wake up really well.
Did you have a bagel with you too?
No.
You wimp.
I don't really wake up too good on weekdays, and I need caffeine. I'm addicted now.
So we also have we're trying to clear it because we get a lot of the voice memos. We're trying to clear the voice memos. So Sean Bray sent in a parody song. Oh. Did you review this?
No, you want me to? It's 1:30. That's all I've seen.
1:30?
I have no idea what it is.
What do you think? It's that's a real song almost.
You told him to write lyrics, and he went all the way.
No, I know, but so...
Kelly's trying to enjoy the family vacation. He's just in the corner writing Jalen Hurts lyrics.
Does everybody get the basis? I would love if we had our listeners send in parody songs on everything involving in the show. For the most part, I do them on opens or guests or things like that, right? But they're never very long. It's one verse and that's it. Hook sometimes, like hook in one verse or one verse and hook. You can't have an entire song with it.
Right.
I mean, I guess we'll start and see.
We'll see.
Is this a Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts parody song is what Sean labeled it, and that he's on the beach. That's what it's labeled. I have no idea.
All right, well, let's give it
Ready?
a try. Go ahead. Yep.
All right, boys, coming to you live from Sanibel Island with the waves crashing. You hear that? Oh, I bet you guys are jealous just listening. Seashells all over, but I'm calling for one reason only. I got a parody song for you.
All right,
Ready?
so stop it real fast. So at least, like, it's not a full 90 seconds
Right.
of the song.
It's a music video where they're doing an intro here.
And he probably has an outro as well. All right, go
You
ahead.
still have a minute 11 left in it.
It might be an outro. We'll see if we can get through it.
All right.
Go ahead.
It away again in Sanibel. Wondering why Jalen Hurts is at a crossroads. Some people complain when there's no playoff wins. But I know it's not Jalen's fault. Salt in the air and margaritas are pouring.
So it's Margarita.
Same old takes that we heard last morning. When he wins, they'll all be back adoring. Uncle Sean Mania will have the Eagles offense soaring. Wasted away again in Sanibel. Wonder why Jalen Hurts is at a crossroads.
Ray's laughing.
Some people complain when there's no playoff win.
Yeah, it's too long.
But I know it's not Jalen's fault. Have yourself a lovely Thursday. I'll have a couple extra Coronas in honor of you guys. Hurts, 2026, 27. And how about them rookies for the fighting?
There he is. Sean Brace live from Florida.
So was that after any Coronas? Does he need the extra Coronas for us?
Couldn't even hear the end because of how much wind there was.
Yeah, it was
I couldn't
windy.
even hear it.
So is that a rhetorical question you're asking about the Coronas, Ray?
By the time he started singing that.
He was trying to drink at 6:55 in the morning at the airport with two young children.
Two young children running around the beach, his wife chasing them around, and there he is.
Yeah, but
wasting away again at Sanibel Island.
But in fairness to Sean, I am the early morning. I'm housed by 10 o'clock in the morning. I have a couple of high noons by 10 a.m.
Oh, I'm all for drinking all day. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, but then I'm done.
Oh. Okay, yeah, never mind. That is where you and I differ.
Right.
10 o'clock, I'll keep rolling.
I'm awake, and I'm at 7:30 taking everything down to the beach. I'm the setter-upper. I'm good to have in the beach house because I make breakfast, I clean up, and I set up. And I want to be down there early. I need to get the spot, need to get the good spot. Then you double park everything. You make sure you have enough room. That's my life at the beach. I love it.
Yeah, you'd have to ask people who vacation with me. I mean, I just never have been, I think, in that really full responsible role where you can really look at me and say, you need that guy to be the setup guy.
Yeah, no, that's it.
I'm a low-leverage vacation guy, really, when it comes down to it.
You're sleepy. You're slobbering on a couch somewhere is what you're doing.
Probably, yeah.
All right, coming up, do you remember we've talked about this? Brandon Graham holding a press conference at the owners' meetings?
Tuesday at 11. Who did we book Tuesday at 11? I felt guilty doing it because I was like, are we going to miss something from Brandon Graham?
Well, I just saw he put out the announcement on Instagram. Did you see it as well?
I haven't seen it, but you told me, yeah.
We're going to play it coming up. All right.
Okay.
YouTube chat recap. And if we have time, a really, really mean April Fool's joke that they played down on a fan in Washington, which has gotten the entire internet in a fury. That's coming up next. Middays with Marks. Don't go anywhere. we're back. Middays with Marks. Shame on us, Ray.
Shame on us, really.
Because we actually thought Brandon was going to announce that this was his final year and he was coming back for one more with the Eagles. It was quite clear that's what was happening.
Yep. And
it's quite clear that's not what happened. So this was released on Instagram less than an hour ago. Here it is.
I'm a little nervous, so I prepared a statement. Thank you for all coming out today.
It's like a Cure
After
Auto.
a lot of conversation and a lot of votes, a lifelong dream is coming true. I never thought this kid from Detroit would have a seat at the table as an owner. I'm beyond humble to officially announce the newest owner as ratified by the board, Ryan Howard.
And it's his iced tea, crooked tea.
I'll start this off by saying, I've said it once, and I'll say it again. We've got unfinished business.
Ryan, over here. One more.
What's the unfinished business?
Well, I guess
Is he suiting back up?
Got to get to 400. He's 18 homers away.
And by the way, the big piece looked great in the video. Looked not slim, but looked in good shape.
He looks like he's in really good shape.
Yeah.
Look like following the 611 podcast as much as I have. Yeah, it looks like
I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, I am.
So there you go. We got fooled. We thought BG was going to announce he's playing one more year, but instead, good on BG for really what he's doing. He's got his podcast, which is doing very well. Yep. He's got the business stuff. And here's the thing with BG, you'll see him all over because he does a lot of events and a lot of stuff. He's out there. He realizes his power for making money is at its finest when he's playing.
Yep.
You know, Jason Kelsey that's going to have this big podcast career. So now he's venturing into business with the company. It's called Crooked Tea.
Yeah. If I was him, I'd be doing the same thing right now. He's smart. Smart man.
Good job. Good job by BG.
Michigan man.
Michigan man. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, needs a brains to be a Michigan.
Well, anyway, he will be back with the Eagles too, but that's not what the press conference was about.
Shame on us for thinking he was going to give us that in April, end of March. But hey, good for him. Good for them. I mean, if there's two athletes I'd love to see working together, there you go.
And I was cruising, I was scrolling, and I'm like, this is the announcement, and right away you could see it was produced.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, what is this? It was a better Cure Auto commercial.
Oh, God, don't even get me started.
The new Kyle Schwarber,
How does it keep getting worse?
It keeps getting worse.
How? The bar is so low you can't get under it.
They don't advertise on the station, right?
I don't know. Call me into a meeting after the show. I apologize.
But we're talking about it. Is it Andrea Kramer? Because the budgets went up. This isn't just that. Normally they get who are the Cure Auto people that have done it before? I think Michael Vick was a Cure Auto.
Yeah.
Maxie was a Cure Auto.
Maxie was a Cure Auto. I mean, it's bad. The Kyle Schwarber Cure Auto. We actually had someone last year, I think Mike and I had this exact conversation, who was an actor in one of those commercials, call in.
What, one of the press people?
Yeah, and it was like an 8-hour day. I'm like, it's an 8-hour day.
I don't know why it takes so long, but it does.
Yeah, it's like none of you are laughing at the jokes. They're not funny. Maybe that's why it is, because the fake laughs are so painful to get out because the punchlines are so terrible.
Yep. Oh, no, it's as bad as it gets.
Oh,
I go with the General. Because for a great
low
rate you can find online, go to the General and save some time. Is the General still around? I haven't watched People's Court in a while. That's where I would see it.
Shaq hasn't stepped on him yet?
No. Shaq actually was he had got equity in the company, I believe.
I'm not surprised. Speaking of someone that did it right, business
damn, Shaq is as good as it gets.
Yeah, and he doesn't say no to a commercial.
Nope.
It's great.
Yep. All right.
He's everywhere.
So before we get to the YouTube chat recap, did you see what they did down in Washington to the poor fan? You have this, Dutz? This is how it sounded last night. We know it was April Fool's. Mm-hmm. So they put a blindfold over this guy. I don't know if it's probably at halftime, right? They put a blindfold over him, and they're telling him, if you make the shot from half court, blindfolded, you win $10,000. What they're not telling him is it's not going to go in, and we're going to pretend that you made the shot.
Oh, no.
Here's how it sounded.
This is the one, though. Jackson, it's all on you. This might be history if you get this done. For $10,000. Oh, my.
Yes, sir.
Somebody's rich! The mascots are going crazy! The contestants going crazy! The crowd is going crazy!
Just pause it real fast. The crowd actually wasn't going crazy.
Right. That would be the first thing to tip me off that no one in the arena right now is losing their mind over the fact that I just hit a blindfolded half-court shot.
But they did do a good job of trying to make it sound like that
Producing
it
like
Yep.
it was happening. Yeah.
They had all these mascots that were like going crazy and surrounding them. And this dude bought it hook, line, and sinker. All right, continue.
Oh my gosh! You didn't see it! We all saw it! You want to see it? Take a look at the screen for the replay.
And they gave him the big
that
check.
Was crazy! You go up with it right here, and you see how it just doesn't actually go in.
Bruh.
I really, really hate April Fool's Day.
No, you
I'm so
don't.
sorry.
No, you don't. Have a backbone. Tell them you're not doing it if you hate April Fool's Day.
Go figure. People were so mad about it.
No kidding.
Oh, shut up. That was funny. They get.
I would have been mad if that was me sitting there. But I'm also, first, I'm not dumb enough to think you have to throw that thing really far to get there. So, I mean.
You would have thought you went in if the same thing happened.
It's a
Bull.
Wizards game, but come on. Like Ray said, the crowd would have been going nuts.
I'm with him on that one. I shoot shots not blindfolded, and I know it's not going in. You're telling me I would have taken a shot blindfolded and thought I made it? I don't think the ones I take are going in when I can see the rim.
Are you thinking that they're going to trick you on the floor when they're telling you can win $10,000? They have a check and they're giving it to you and everybody's celebrating?
I also grew up in a house that did the whole April Fool's thing, so April 1st, I'm guarded.
You're on alert.
Yeah. Like, yesterday, we didn't do anything for the show, but I was very guarded. I got a couple of texts of people trying to get me on different things, like, oh, I just accepted a job here.
You could have gotten me. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about it.
I'm right. My guard's up on April Fool's Day.
I'm stupid. I could have been tricked very easily yesterday. Seriously. The morning,
At least you admit it.
Guys in the mornings they told me
I'm an absolute dummy.
Yeah, they're like, did you hear Devin Caney? We're hiring her to come in next week. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's interesting. And John's like, yeah, it's April Fool's Day. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. All right, YouTube chat recap. We got to make it quick. Go ahead.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
Let me tell you something else, man.
Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
I can't lie. Let me tell you something.
It's the Middays with Marks YouTube chat recap.
Hit me.
John brushes his teeth with Nasty Nate in the stall next to him from D-Flyers.
I would never brush my teeth in a public bathroom.
He barely goes into that bathroom.
I went upstairs to pee last time.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. There's too much that goes on the fourth floor.
Too much traffic?
Yeah, I feel like it's the same salespeople dropping a deuce every day, no matter what time I go in there.
Is that just what they do? Is that like?
I'm assuming that it's a part of their routine. My routine is never dropping a deuce in a public bathroom unless it's an emergency. I train my body not to do it at work. If it
I'm
happens,
the same way.
If it happens, it happens. Like,
I
what
can't go in public. So if I'm screwed, then it happens.
Yeah, I'm not going to go.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not going to go in my pants. But if I have to go, I have to go. But my body's trained not to go.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, you're good.
All right, what's next?
I thought that was Timu Coupe de Jean from 215 Philly.
That was Timu Coupe de Jean. What did we get into it?
I lost here? Or is that a shot at me? I'm confused.
Oh,
it's
it's
on
a
me.
shot at you.
I still don't get that, but.
No,
all right.
you're Timu Coupe de Jean.
Oh, I got it.
So it's like Cooper de Jean, but you're the knockoff version.
Right. You're the fake version. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean,
that's a compliment.
That's a
by the way.
compliment. Yeah.
You're a
I thought it
handsome
was
young
epic
man.
Andy Dalton.
That's not a compliment.
Not at
Don't
all.
worry. I'm sure it doesn't get worse as we keep going here. Let's
All right.
not get the comment out of the way.
All right, go ahead.
Herb was at the film study explaining the four corners offense from Andrew.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
Seth is definitely the basketball coach that'll press you up 30 from Dawood.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Game's not over. Come on. He's Joe Mazzulla to the press.
Right.
They beat the press 84-7.
You wouldn't get 7 points against him. That would be disappointing defense to him.
Nope. Oh, yeah, now all of a sudden, positive Seth. After years and years and years of complaining after wins, they didn't run the ball enough. They didn't blitz the ball. Now all of a sudden, we're all evil, and all the media is evil. Sure, Seth. All right, what's next?
I once missed a Lisa Ann film study due to an unexpected visit from an old lady friend from Boom Bap.
You missed a what? Okay. That's interesting thing to admit in our YouTube chat.
I don't even know what we're
Yeah,
talking
all right.
about.
Don't
honestly.
look up whatever you do. Don't look up who he just said.
Lisa Ann looks like Sarah Palin. Nail and Palin was, I think, the. All right, one more.
Dutz's hair looks like he is a Pokemon trainer. Gotta catch 'em all from Austin Jones.
Yep. He's not wrong about that. You do look like you're a Pokemon.
It's all right. I'll take it.
Ash. If we didn't get you hair, Jordan, we could have called you Ash. Right?
Yep.
That was the Pokemon guy, I think.
Me neither. I wasn't a
Pokemon
Pokemon guy at all.
Pokemon I know is when people were. I think I actually worked here before because people were like on City Line Avenue looking for the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. Pokemon Go back in the day. I
Yeah.
thought his name's Ash. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
Coming up next, will they be talking to each other? Because I know Ricky Bo and Bill Colarulo were at odds over the April Fool's Day prank yesterday. See ya.